Okay, so welcome. Let's do some introduction, right? And as we actually kick off officially the orientation and opening ceremony of Bootcamp 4.0. Well, first of all, I want to welcome our hosts in the person of Engineer Aniebet Udo, who is the CEO of Codehouse. Now, I'll just say a few things, right, about him, right? Just a few, right? Of course, he's still going to come in much later, and then you get to know more about him. But he is the CEO of Codehouse, Codehouse being the parent company of Codecamp, powered by Codecamp is actually powered by Codehouse. He's an electronic engineer, and with 32 plus years, let's just say 30 years, 32, actual number, but 30 plus years in what the programming, 30 plus years. But let me just give you a statistics, right? I'm just going to show you something and we'll do 30 seconds of silence, or just say 10 seconds. So for those of you that can see my screen, yes, this is Engineer Niebet Udo. 30 plus years experience in programming. He does C, C++, Objective-C, Swift, Kotlin, Java, JavaScript, PHP, Python, HTML, CSS, Node.js, Vue.js, like the list goes on and on and on. And some of you might be saying, wait, is this actually true? Like one person? Yes. He's also into DevOps, machine learning, and IoT, right? So this is the person behind Kodecamp. So when you see this quality, when you see such an individual, backing Kodecamp, then you know that we are not here to joke, right? So Engineer, welcome. Of course, he's going to be giving us the welcome address once I'm done, and then we'll head straight into other things we have. I also have on this call the managing director of Codehouse in the person of Sir Lawrence Akugwe. Look, this is one man that if you want something done, just get him involved. It does not matter what it is. He finds a way to get stuff done, right? He's someone to have, around you. In fact, if you have this kind of person around you and you don't make it in life, then you have a problem, not him. You have a problem. So, Mr. Lawrence, welcome, and thank you for, gracing us with your presence. And of course, some other persons. Yeah, we're going to have our keynote speaker who is going to be properly introduced, right? He's the CEO of Innovate Lab, Adeshogo David. He'll be properly introduced, but this is just me going around the table to welcome the persons we have. And then for our trainers, yes, we have our front-end trainer, likes of Akim Bobola. He's going to be the front-end trainer, beginner. Akim Bobola, nice to meet you. And of course, for the front-end people, well, this is your trainer. And then, of course, for the React, yes, your React, the trainer is David Edu. David is with us also. And for the UI UX beginner, we have Chiamaka Okeke. Welcome. Also welcome Gloria Leonard. She's going to be, so Chiamaka is the trainer for UI UX beginner. And then Gloria Leonard is going to be the intermediate UI UX trainer. Now, so the UI UX mentor, Adeni Adedamola, welcome. I also want to give a shout out to Victor Ukok, that's a Node.js beginner trainer who is also on the call. And then we have the Node.js intermediate trainer and the person of Christopher Sesu. For the Node.js intermediates, I was just speaking with this young man a few minutes ago. You guys are in trouble. You will learn, don't worry, you will learn. Okay, and then of course for the DevOps trainer, we have Michael Urias, welcome. And then of course, Xavier Bassi for the Python Fast API. And of course, we have our graphics person, our graphics designer, and the person of Okechukwu Kalu. Big shout out to you. And also big shout out to our social media manager in the person of Favor Atta. And then this is going to be more than a shout out. For some of you who may or may not know her, she is actually a product of Bootcamp. She started as a learner, migrated to being a mentor, and I am really glad to officially announce to the community, right, the assistant program manager of Kodecamp. Yes, Imoleayo Yobisiolu. I am so excited. I'm so glad to have her, on the team. In fact, in just a short time of her being with me, I'm like being with us. It's been mind blowing, right? In fact, I think a part of me was like, where has she been? Like, why wasn't she in 1.0? Why wasn't she in 2.0? Right? If I had Imole in 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, I'm sure things would have been much more smoother, right? But she's here, and I am happy to announce her. She's going to be the assistant program manager of Kodecamp moving forward. So Imole, big shout outs to you, and welcome to the team once again, right? Okay, and so who else are we welcoming? Okay, well, my humble self. My name is Gage Guachom, and I'm program manager of Code I also work in Code House, right? Same as Imoliayo. We also work in Code House. Like I said, Code House is the powerhouse of Camp, right? So yeah, that is actually me, right? That's me. So I'm not really going to say much. Okay. So I think that does it, right, for the introductions. I don't think there's anybody I need to introduce again. No, that does it for the introductions. So okay, the chats are actually making me laugh a bit. So to take us further, I'm going to invite none other than the founder of Code House, Engineer Niebet Udo, to just give us a welcome address as we move forward. Engineer Niebet, if you can hear me, please, over to you.
Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir, loud and clear.
Is it very clear?
It could be better, but it's also clear. Maybe you can come a bit closer to the mouthpiece.
Okay, so is it very clear now?
Better, sir. Better, very better. Thank you.
All right, so let me put on my camera. Yeah, so I'm very happy to welcome everyone to Bootcamp. You can see the slide, for those of us who can see the slide, it's Bootcamp 4.0, the fourth cohort. This is the most powerful cohort of Kodecamp. And if it hasn't been sufficiently, explained to you, let me just say it this way: Kodecamp changes people's lives, and we're going to see that shortly. By the time a couple of people come out and tell us their Kodecamp story. Of course, Ike has already mentioned Imole, right? Who was right there from the beginning, Kodecamp 1.0. A whole lot of other people. So I think one of the things that every single person on this call should kind of make it like a resolution or a target for yourself is that at the end of this Bootcamp 4.0 cohort, your life should change. Something should shift. You should move to the next step. Okay. So of course, as time goes on, it will become clearer how that will happen. But be that as it may, I want to welcome everyone and just tell you welcome. Enjoy Codecamp. The journey will be very interesting. It will also be very challenging because it's not meant to be easy. So all of the people that are talking about how they're going to make money and hammer and all of that in tech, yeah, all of those people, it's not going to be easy, right? It's not going to be easy. But yeah, I want to welcome everyone. So let's have a great day today. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Engineer Nebet. That was a wonderful one. Thank you so much, sir. Right about now, I want to welcome someone very important that is in our midst, our keynote speaker. is a thought alchemist, a visionary leader, a community transformation strategist, the co-founder of Children That Change the World, and the co-founder and CEO of Innovate Lab. His work with Kyola aids founders in creating impactful digital brands, and through Cognize, he has empowered over 5,000 individuals with critical thinking skills and strategies since 2018. He has made significant strides in Africa's educational and entrepreneurial sector as he spearheads initiatives to bridge knowledge gaps and foster innovation. As an ecosystem builder, he has resourced and mentored hundreds of entrepreneurs and tech talents in conjunction with local and global organizations, including Eridon Group, Student Build, GDG, Startup Grind, Earth Foundation, GIS Atos, and Impact Hub, amongst others. Likewise, he sits on the board of a number of reputable organizations, including Spring NG, Literal Society, Striving for Greatness, ED Tech Initiative, and this space. He was recognized by Y Nigeria in its new establishment list, and his work has been featured in Radical, Ziwani, African Blockchain Institute, among other local and global media. And his commitment to societal betterment is further reflected in his personal life, where he cherishes his role as a husband and father to 3 boys. Help me welcome Jesu Damilare, JD Adeshegun David.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me. I hope you can hear me very clearly. Initially, I was trying to unmute.
Loud and clear.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. It's such a joy to be here, and thanks for the privilege, Code House, and thank you for having me to speak at this auspicious event. I believe that the little time we have will be transformative enough. So I'm just going to share my screen right away. If you can just give me permission to share my screen. All right.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. Yes, can you see my screen, please?
Yes, I can.
Are you able to see my screen, please?
Yes, I can see your screen, sir.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. All right. So yeah, we're talking about building the skill economy, and on this very important day of the 4th edition of the Kodecamp orientation and its opening ceremony. My name is Jesu Damilare Adeshegun David, and I lead Innovate Lab. Now, so I'm going to start with a story of the old man and the hammer. So there was this businessman who had a factory, and the factory actually, dealt with heavy machinery and all of that. And then one day, one of the major machineries, stopped working. And then this man kept looking for engineers, hey, come help me resolve this. And then this engineer came, that engineer came, they couldn't resolve it. And then somebody whispered to the man that there is someone who I believe could fix this. So the CEO, sent for the man that, had been referred, had been recommended. And then the man came. And then the man said, just give me a few minutes. And then he went around, observed, checked things, thought this, thought that. And then he stood in front of the engine. And he brought out his hammer and began to tap the engine and then said, go start it. And that was how this machinery came alive again. And so the CEO said, oh, wow, like very easy job, very quick job you've done here. And then he said, this should not be worth more than, $1, right, for the time. I mean, this story was set long ago, so that's why it's $1 being used there. And then the old man said, sorry, I'm going to send you my invoice for what I did. And when the CEO got the invoice, this was what was on the invoice. Tapping the engine with the hammer was $1, but knowing where to hit the hammer was $999. Now, this anecdote, this story, I mean, there are different variations of it, and you have come across another variation of this. But basically, what this particular story is showing us is that skills and the dexterous use of skills actually set people apart. So no matter what industry you are, no matter what sphere you are working in, or no matter what trajectory you want to pursue, one of the things you must know from the beginning is that skills differ from skills. So there are some people who have skills similar to yours, but they could finish in 2 hours what will take you like 48 hours to do. So we are in an economy that actually places premium on skillfulness, And with the trend of globalization and all of that, we understand that it doesn't matter where you are in the world right now. If you have skills, you have skills. If you have the right kind of skills, you have the right kind of skills. So it would not matter if your color was white or black, right? When people know that you are able to do what they're looking for you to do, they would pay you whatever you need to get paid, right, to get you to do that stuff. So the question is, in the context of a tech talent, because this is a Kodecamp, right? So you were entering into the tech world, but tech in itself is not isolated. Tech is situated within a larger base of other critical skills that you can't afford not to pay attention to. And I can be sure that during the course of this, bootcamp, myriad, range of skills. The most important thing for you to do is to ensure that you are not distracted. Okay, I'll share maybe a story if my time permits, but I'm trying to, work the time. So the skills of the future, I want to, kind of like, put a spotlight on tech. And I'm tweaking a quote by Arthur C. Clarke. He wrote a book in 1962, and he came up with 3 laws. Now, this is the 3rd law that I have actually tweaked a bit. So what he said actually was, any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. But I have tweaked it to say, any sufficiently advanced technological skill is indistinguishable from magic. Now, what that means is this. The story of the old man I shared earlier shows you what this looks like in a way. Every other person has come to try to resolve that problem, but they could not. But somebody with very polished, advanced skills, right? Someone with advanced skills came and he was able to, decode what the problem was, and he knew what to do to actually solve the problem. So whenever people see people with advanced skills, right, it usually looks like magic. But the truth is that every single person who has arrived at these advanced skills, started as novices. Nobody came into the world with, how do I call it, yeah, you might come with an innate bent towards some certain skills, but you don't bring it polished. You don't bring it, fully formed. You start from a novice level, and then you begin to build competence over time, right? And that's also what tech, offers to us. Everybody has almost equivalent, an almost equivalent starting point or a level playing field. Well, you could say that, hey, I don't have access to some machines, right, that I could use, to drive my tech career or my journey into coding or something like that. But I can tell you that some people started coding by using their mobile phones, right? They didn't allow the fact they didn't have laptops to become an issue for them. I know someone who started coding by writing out code with pen and paper. So the person was learning and was writing out code with pen and paper. And now the proficiency level of the person is like, the person is a guru, right, as it were. But they started from somewhere and began to build over time till what they were doing was basically like magic, right? I mean, if you code yeah, if you code basically whatever kind of coding, like the outcome is usually mind-blowing, right? There are some software you use and you're wondering how somebody, you know, like built them to that level of, you know, usefulness. You're like, how could these lines of gibberish, right? I mean, because to the novice, they are like gibberish, right? But how did these lines of gibberish translate into this world-changing application, into this world-changing product? So any sufficiently advanced technological skill is indistinguishable from magic, right? So ChatGPT was coded, right? It was coded. Now you can just go put stuff in it and say, hey, I want you to, you know, give me a breakdown of this and that, or help me compare and contrast between, you know, the World War I and World War II, and then it gives you something very intelligent, right? And recently, Sam Altman began to announce that GPT 4.0 will soon be seen as the dumbest of, you know, of the GPTs available, because what they are building and what they're about to release, I think 5.0 will blow 4.0 out of the water. But the magic of what we see in the user interface, in what you interact with, is because of sufficiently advanced programming skills, right? And this is what Codecamp is going to, you know, be introducing you to. You're going to be launched into this world, this amazing world of tech that is going to, you know, shape your future, that is going to secure for you a place in the future that is relevant, right? That is going to move the world in the right direction, that will allow you to create solutions that will change the lives of, you know, myriads of people. Now, I said earlier that tech in itself is not in isolation. So I'm going to move to a list of skills for today and tomorrow. So there are about 8 of them here, and I'll just run through them very quickly as I begin to round off. So the first is what we've been talking about, tech, right? Tech and digital literacy, right? The ability to, you know, manipulate, you know, technologies with, you know, either programming or design or whatever it is, right? So that's something you're going to learn during the course of this, you know, program. But then these other 7, while it might not be explicitly stated, I am sure you're going to learn these things as well. And I want you to watch out for them, because these remaining 7 are what distinguishes people from people. Like, there are people that have the tech, you know, skills and all of that, but they lack a number of the other things I'm about to mention, and so they remain mediocre, they remain average in the course of their careers, right? So the first after tech and digital literacy is critical thinking and problem solving. Tech is meant not to be an end in itself, but a means to an end. One of the challenges we have had in Nigeria for a long time is that we have not built strength in critical thinking and problem solving. So most of the times, the technologies we build are copies of what is already widely available. So we mostly build copies. We are not building groundbreaking technologies because a lot of times there is little to no critical thought that is being brought to bear, you know, side by side with our technological skills, right? So I want you to pay attention to that. Critical thinking is the ability, right, to, you know, how do I call it? Evaluate the quality of your thinking while you're thinking. So what it means is that you're thinking about your thinking. It helps you to discover flaws in how you think. It helps you to, you know, better your thinking. So critical thinking helps you to, you know, consistently upgrade your thinking by evaluating your thinking. So the way I think this year is not the way I thought last year, because I consistently evaluate how I think. And as I keep doing that, what happens is that I'm able to think better. So thinking is not random, right? You have to build it. Problem solving is the capacity to, you know, see problems. And with critical thinking, then the next point, the next skill, creativity and innovation. With critical thinking and creative thinking, bringing those two together, you can find yourself solving problems. So what you discover when you begin to apply critical thinking and creativity is you suddenly see that you do not join the mass of people who are always complaining about things. Rather, you're always seeing opportunities. So where other people are shouting, complaining, and all of that, you are seeing opportunities, right, to either, you know, make things better or to make some more money for yourself, or to, you know, like create a paradigm shift, that brings other people into a new place of thinking, into a new place of experience and all of that. Number 4 is emotional intelligence. How self-aware are you as a person and in relation to other people? This is very important. In fact, emotional intelligence is one of the things that, if you work in teams and you want to, make progress, either as a leader or whatever it is, you must have emotional intelligence. Then number 2 is, if you're actually working cross-culturally, if you're not emotionally intelligent, I can assure you, you're going to be stuck. Because, if you want to work as let's say, a remote, developer with companies in the US or in the UK or whatever it is, there must be this emotional intelligence you possess. It's emotional intelligence that helps you to be culturally aware, right? And all of that. We don't have too much time. Adaptability and flexibility. There are some people who are stuck on a programming language. They are stuck on it because they are not flexible. They are not adaptable, right? They are stuck on a method of doing stuff. But the world changes, right? And sometimes change is not you, how do I call it, like betraying yourself. You must be conscious of when change is inevitable. In fact, it is said that change is the only constant, right? So adaptability and flexibility helps you to flow with the trend of change while not losing yourself in the process. You are able to bend back or bend forward while you're still able to keep yourself intact. Now, this is a very important skill to learn. And one of the ways you learn whether you are already prone to that is in instances of arguments, right? When you are, having conversations with your friends or teammates, and somebody is bringing a superior argument, but you still stick with what you have been arguing, which has been shown to be inferior, right? That capacity to ditch inferior arguments when you come across superior arguments already gives you a clue that you are adaptable and flexible. Number 6, collaboration and teamwork. Very important. We live in a world where collaboration is the new oil, right? Collaboration is the new oil. It's you can hardly do anything all by yourself in these times. There was a time when we had Lone Ranger geniuses who by themselves could do amazing things, and then they come and then the spotlight is on them and then they receive all the applause, but not anymore. If you want to go far, it is said, in an African proverb that you go with others, right? Number 7, leadership and social influence. One of the key things we've been seeing in the developer space, the software developer space, is a lot of the engineers do not talk about themselves. So there was something that happened on Twitter not too long ago, maybe last year or something, where there was a list of top tech talents in Nigeria. And then some people were very, very, very miffed at the list because they were not on the list. They were wondering, why are these people on the list? When did they come into the space? But the difference between them and the people that made the list was that those that made the list were talking, were consistently putting out content to help other people. So they gained influence. They began to exercise leadership. And soon they were rewarded by the recognition they got as the most, like the top talents, tech talents in Nigeria. So as a developer, as one who is building yourself in tech skills, you must also learn how to lead other people. And you lead other people by serving them, by giving them support, by helping them to grow. As you do this, your influence increases. And then what happens is that before you know it, you start getting recommendations and referrals to projects that you would never have even known about as a web. Then the last one is lifelong learning. The day you stop learning is the day you die. It's a skill, the skill to keep learning. A lot of people became obsolete because they refused to learn. I remember in Ibadan back then, there were some typists at Iyagoku around the High Court. These typists were professionals. They didn't used to look at the keyboard while they were typing. So they will be talking about what happened yesterday with their fellow typists, and they will be talking about typing, and they didn't have to use Tipex. But they were hearing about desktop publishing and desktop computers, but they felt like, nah, this can't happen to us. Like, we are queens of the game here. Sorry. Bill Gates did not take their permission before he had the ambition to put desktop computers on every table in the world. He didn't take their permission. And before long, they were obsolete. That's because they refused to learn. They refused to make learning a consistent practice. So I believe that during this Kodecamp, you're going to be exposed to these things. And I want to, how do I call it, encourage you. I want to charge you to give yourself to learning these skills, to give yourself to owning these skills, and to ensure that by the end of this program, you have set yourself apart and you have set yourself on a trajectory of success, of influence, and of great reward. Thank you for listening to me, and I believe that this short period has been beneficial to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Please, let me keep saying that round of applause. If you gain something, write value in the chat. Thank you so much, sir. We are very grateful for this session. This is power-packed. Right about now, I'll be inviting the managing director of Codehouse. People that know me know how I call him my daddy, because he's also a father. I can't see that round of applause, so are we clapping? These are wonderful people in our midst. Engineer Lawrence Akube, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? All right, so
yes, I can hear you.
Can you see my face? Second
Yes.
check. Then the third check is I need to share my screen. Yeah, can I share my screen?
Yes, you can.
All right, thank you so much. Just a minute. Be up in a moment. All right. Confirm you can hear me for the final time.
Yes, I can hear you.
All right.
Yes,
good morning, good evening, good night. From wherever you're coming from. I want to start with the problem. Thank you very much, sir, for the very insightful opening remark. Because of want of time, let me just delve into this. We are going to revisit it. I learned a lot, to be daring, to dare to ask questions, I like that, obtaining a skill that probably is very rare. My guy will use that word. Go for those things that are very rare, so that when they cover what I got from your presentation, sir. So me, I want to start with the problem, kind of put context to it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know what you are doing here, I want to bring it to you. Bloomberg reports 23 million Nigerians, of 23 million Nigerians. This is actually Nigerian. Carry. And when we talk about million, just imagine what 1 million looks like. So you'll be wondering why there is increase in crime and stuff like that. So the statistics says it all. 39.1 million. This is those that are supposed to be in jobs are already either unemployed or underemployed. Another scary thing is of this tech workforce, if you think I'm not referring to you, please, I don't know how many of us in this call that are under the age of 34. So, well, if these statistics that you're seeing here is not enough, please go to the National Bureau of Statistics. This is the standard one, of course. If you don't trust, the international publication, at least you can trust your own. Exactly the same thing, 3.3. So
Okay, I think Lawrence's network is having a bit of issue, so yeah, he's going to join back soon and continue. But let me see if I can just buttress a few points, right? So as we can see from the statistics, it's actually very clear, right, that we have the population of unemployed persons is mind-blowing, actually. It's actually mind-blowing. And one major thing this actually just tells us is that, guys, there are jobs out there, right? There are jobs. But the major challenge is this. Are there people, are there skilled enough, right, to use that, skilled enough people, right, for those jobs? And one of the major things that we as Codecamp have come to solve is that issue of what, to bridge that gap. So as you can see, 33.3% of unemployment. Now, inside that 33.3%, 22.8 is underemployed, right? 22.8 is underemployed. And then we have 42.5% of youths, okay, that are what? Unemployed. We have youths that are underemployed, which is 21.0%. And of course, 5 million of the unemployed Nigerians have advanced education. So we have those who have actually, done their BSc, probably gone as far as doing their masters, in fact, maybe even PhD, right? We have the ND persons, we have, in fact, they have advanced degrees, but they are still what? Unemployed. Look, these are the numbers, and this is the reality. This is the problem, right? Which is why we have actually, that's the problem Codecamp is trying to solve. How can we bridge this gap? How can we reduce this number? Okay, how can we reduce this number? So I want to believe that this might spark something in you to know that, look, as far as jobs is concerned, right, there are jobs, but the question is, are you skilled enough, right? Are you skilled enough for that job, right? Genevieve, I don't know if you can help me with the next slide, right? So, according to a report by Confrel, you can see that there will be a global talent shortage of 85 million by 2030. By 2030, there will be a global talent shortage, meaning that in 2030, there will be jobs, but there won't be enough persons to get those jobs. For those jobs, there won't be enough persons. Now, you can see that Africa is the only region with a growing youth. Look, for there are families in this part of the world, you can give birth for Africa, right? 12, polygamous nature, everywhere. So the youth population is growing. You can see the curve. It is growing, right? And its greatest resource is its young people. So yes, Africa is the next destination for sourcing of tech talents because of this growing young population. And guys, this is statistics. We're not trying to make it up, right? We are not trying to make it up. This is pure statistics. And you are in this population. Each and every one of you on this call, including myself, we are all in this population, in this particular statistics. So the question is this: do you want to remain where you are? I'll leave you with that question, and then I'll invite Mr. Lawrence to continue from here. Thank you. Mr. Lawrence, if you can hear me.
Yeah, can I be heard now?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Hello. All right.
Yes,
Thank
go
you
ahead.
very much. Yeah, thanks. I really appreciate the intervention. Yeah, the network is rather erratic this way, and just hold on a minute, my slide is coming up. So Ike, I guess probably when I left, you have gone through the pictures, right? Let me just jump them.
No, I think you can go from here. You say this better than I will ever say it. So go from this particular one I'm seeing.
Okay, thank you very much. So so for those, I don't have time. I have to just rush through this. So please, this is serious. This was immigration recruitment exercise that was done far back in 2013. And that's we are talking about this is 2024. So this is 10 years plus. So if unemployment is in picture like this 10 years ago, imagine how many people that have gotten admission into universities. Okay. So why this picture is very unique is that we've never seen unemployed people have a party or have a convention. So immigration did it for us, and they are looking for only 105 people for this particular exercise, and they used 6 centers. That was madness. And let me show you what happened. This is the results. Okay. The result is that there was stampede on that day. Everywhere was like, in fact, people lost their lives. Okay. People that came to get jobs went home dead, including a pregnant woman. So if this does not scare you, I wonder what would. So I want to ask a question. Imagine this happening in 2024, asking people to come for recruitment exercise and everything. So if you don't understand 33 million, okay, the people in East, I don't think any of these has the capacity of more than 70,000. So we're talking about roughly, multiply it by, by 6 or something. We have not even started. So, well, I think you need to take this thing seriously. There's another slide I want to show you also. When we talk about unemployment, there are other things that come with it as well. So, somewhere in West Africa in 2020, I'm sure some of us witnessed this, okay? If you say you're on this call and you're above 80 years of age and you don't understand what is showing up in this slide, it means you're not really being very honest with yourselves. So having shown unemployment in picture, I want to equally show you what hunger, poverty equally looks like in picture. This was immediately after or within the COVID-19 period, a lot of warehouses were discovered. Again, whenever there is opportunity for us to show, how, dangerous our situation is, we never fail. And this location is one of it. And thank God for those that captured it in pictures as well. Okay, let me show you another thing. Yeah, people equally resort to the informal sector to go and make it. And one of the things that actually attract people is social media and all that influencing, chasing clout and all that. And part of it is in fact, the most popular one is Big Brother. You want to be among the housemates and everything. So this is the picture you don't see. I know all of you have DSTV or something, but this process is the one they don't show you. So they have 12 centers throughout Nigeria where you have to come. So those 20 people you see in the house, maybe in one of these pictures, only one person will be taken from that region. Okay, so if you think, going through this route is equally important, be my guest, right? Then we are promised baby steps of pain. This is another thing that is currently happening. I haven't said the one that will be happening over the time. This is equally our reality today. Of all these things, look at the top right. The minimum wage is 30K. Please, how much is 30K? And I don't think it can even buy a bag of rice today. So there's enough suffering and there's enough hardship to go around. Everybody just choose your own pain. And of course, the idea is that one of the ways to solve this problem. Hello, can I still be heard?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
So one of the ways to solve this problem is the picture you see there. People leaving the country, you see the American flag, the American dream, people moving to UK and all that. But again, let me ask you, how many are we? If all of us decides to leave, where are you going to? That's the thing. Well, I think having said this, let me now go into the whole thing. This idea is actually towards do a kind of massive orientation. Let me call it that way, because the idea is we want to build the skill economy. Thanks for doing justice to this topic. The skill economy. How do you understand it? Skill has become a commodity that can be bought and that can. What we need to do is to harness it, right? countries are already, Nigeria is not the first. India is already doing it. China is already doing it. They are looking inwards and they are investing in the talent that they have. And why can't we, do the same thing? Nigeria is the most populous nation, black nation in the world today. And I believe that with this idea, we can empower people. So this is similar to what Ike has actually talked about. So I'm going to just jump. So the vision for us creating this, so I want everybody to understand it. We are not here by mistake. What we want to create is a one-stop shop for tech talents in Africa, by 2025, meaning that we're going to have a pool of people, that will be able to, match global demand. When I mean global demand, nobody's going to give you any job if you don't qualify. There's a lot of gaps, it is not enough even learning the tech. There's a lot of things that we need to learn. Right now, we have to do a lot of work, okay? Yes, there are a lot of efforts here and there, but for us to call ourselves a one-stop shop for tech talents in Africa, it's not a joke. And it has to be followed up with practical experience. So our mission is to admit, and that's what we have done. We have admitted, right? We are going to nurture and eventually deploy the next generation of tech workforce in Africa, for this budding industry 4.0. And from 2021, we started with, free Codecamp, free beginner training, strictly beginners. You can see how we have moved to intermediate 2.0, then 3.0, and currently this is the first time we are going to be considering the advanced track. So we are actually growing this particular program. Codecamps in figure, right? We have done this for 3 years. This is the 4th that we're going to be doing. We have done more than 15 tracks already. And now we have moved from 1 level to 2 level to adding the additional advanced level. So far, we've had more than 600 finalists and we have had 10,000 registrations. So registration is just one thing. Another thing is to go through the intensive learning process that is going to be happening in the next 4 months. Not everybody on this call will finish. I'm not wishing you badly, but of course, that normally happens. That is a fact. It has been proven by statistics. I didn't call anybody's name, but if I were you, I will kind of eliminate my name from those that will not make it to the finals. So it is really very, very real, okay? Out of 10,000, we are harvesting 600. If we can equally up our seriousness in this, I'm sure we're going to harvest more. In the last count, I checked the statistics. I have 1,800 people that have already signed up. Okay, let's see how many people will finish at the end of the day. So I'm throwing this as a challenge to you. We're going on with the statistics. We have more than 50. We have done more than 50 mentors and facilitators so far. Combined use of experience is more than 50. We have had 10 partners listed. I'm not going to go through all of them. We are even having more. We have some guests that we're going to introduce here that have gotten some, that have gotten some interest in Codecamp. If you go to our YouTube channel, everybody, if you are not, sure, go to YouTube, type Codecamp team. You are going to see our channel. You can even subscribe. So I encourage all of you to subscribe. In fact, if you want to go ahead of others, you can watch the videos that are there. You can learn anything on your own as well. So we have more than 550 videos there. So out of the 3 years experience we've had, more than 1,000 hours of training experience. And we have had more than 26 final projects. So this is Codecamp, in figures, right? Please, I want to equally confirm that I can still be heard. I have less than 5 minutes to go.
Yes,
Hello?
you can be heard.
Okay, thank you. So we have done this, for 3 years. You can see it in infographic there. 1.0 in 2021, 2.0 2022, and 3.0 last year. We did 3 tracks, 11 tracks, and we've kind of backtracked to 8 also. So you could see we moved from beginner in the first level, first year. We introduced intermediate and, consolidated that intermediate in the second sorry, in the third cohort. This time around, we are going to, test advanced level and DevOps as well. So I think I've talked about this somehow, but this is breaking it down. Those 10,000 I showed you can see how the sign-ups are. The 600 I talked about, this is how they finally, so you can see it's a funnel, so we want to tell you nothing will be given to you if you don't deserve it. That's the truth, it's a promise. And what I want to show you here is that there's an arrow at the end of each of those cohorts, kind of, feeling, what was it, input into what we call Codecamp community. I'm going to show you a slide and talk about the Codecamp community as well. Remember I said one-stop shop for tech talents in Africa. So we wouldn't be doing this. In fact, as from Monday, we are going to be connecting to every single finalist that have actually come out from Codecamp. At the closing ceremony of this particular cohort, we are going to show you how successful those guys are. The few that we heard of is actually very, very interesting and very encouraging. So yes, as you have joined this cohort, please just know that you have automatically joined the community. And that community is what we call the one-stop shop. I'm not going to say so much on this slide. I think there's another session that will talk about our operations. So we use this called YouTube. Of course, I mentioned the Zoom. We are here on Zoom, and then we have our Codecamp LMS. So what is the value? We have the value there. If you look at the picture in the middle, you see 1, 2, 3. Just I want you to follow me like that. So we have 4 hours of lectures every week. Of course, it will be announced. It is broken down into 2 sessions. One session is 2 hours, and the other session is 2 hours. There will be materials that will be shared with you, and technical assistant. There's what we call office hour. There's going to be the main trainer for each track, and then if you are confused, you are free to join the office hour and ask questions, and you'll be assisted, right? And then there will be grading of tasks and feedback. So we don't just grade, we give you feedbacks, and then you kind of experience how to work in a team. There's going to be that stage where you work, in a group as well. We teach employability skills, then the mentors I talked about, they are quite experienced. So you have access to experienced mentors. And in joining the community already, you'll be connecting with your future colleagues. So networking is one of the experience we bring to the table as well. So of course, you build your portfolio. There's going to be certification at the end of these, because you will see, if we started 3,000 and are ending with 100, and that's sometimes less than 5%. Those people deserve some accolades, ladies and gentlemen. And one of the things we are currently working on from the last cohort is a lot of people are I'm sure they're on this call. Some of them are currently on internship, both with Codehouse and with some of our partners. Example, the hotel, what was Messenger NG, assuredly, Buy Simply, Bonitas, Cypher Crescents, Innovantics. Those partners I mentioned are really interested. I really want to, at this point, say kudos to those that have got, and I hope that the people that are joining this one will get the opportunity to work with some of those companies and actually make a mark for themselves. I'm not going to talk about this because I could dwell on this. This is our roadmap. Classes starts May 2020. Of course, on Monday, classes are starting. So I've run out of time. We want to add more, more tracks, right? Machine learning, cloud computing, entrepreneurship, and so on and so forth. But of course, it will depend on resources. And that is why we are reaching out to friends and family to support us. There are other funding channels that we are trying to explore. But for now, please take us as we are. So this is the last slide, and this is where I'll end. Okay. So if you don't remember anything about Codecamp, just remember that we're going to have this community. And this community is simply going to be the bedrock. And I usually like my Oga to talk about, the community. I don't know whether he will be gracious enough to just, maybe in a minute or two, just run through this. With this, I think the whole thing about Code House is very clear. Or if it's not, I can actually go through it now.
Yeah, I think I can go through it. So
All right, thank you.
when we talk about Kodecamp community, it is an entire it's a movement, right? It's not just Bootcamp only. A lot of people that have joined Kodecamp, right from those that started in Kodecamp 1.0, they were only seeing a small piece of the vision. They didn't see the entire thing. The entire thing is really it's a movement, right? And these are the 5 steps. First of all, most of you are already in the community. There are even people who have been on Discord for so many years. Like I'm even seeing the chat here, very interesting chat. There's one of the chatters here who is saying that since 2021, he has been trying to eventually find his way through Kodecamp, right? I pray for him that he succeeds this year. This will be the 4th time, maybe he's trying. And we have a lot of other people like that, they are in the Kodecamp community. So you can actually be in the community even when you have not yet gotten to the finals, or you're not a finalist in any of the boot camps. You can still continue to learn and improve. You can still continue to engage, interact with other people. I think what has been happening is that most of the people don't interact. You just join the community and stay silent. And when I say community, what is a community? That is the workspace on Discord. That's what we use for communication in the community, right? So whenever you're in Discord, don't be quiet, don't be silent. Try to engage with people, ask questions. If you have problems, if you have difficulties, mention it, speak out. It is by speaking out that you get help. And there's so many people there who will be able to help you, who can answer your questions, who can direct you, who can guide you. That is why you are in that community. And Discord is the current tool for our engagement in the community. Now, inside the community, that's number 5. You now have number 4, which is what we call Kodecamp Self-Paced. This is a training program that you do for yourself. Basically, you can watch videos. For example, we have a lot of videos on YouTube, like Lawrence has said. You can go and watch the old videos. You can do the exercises. You can ask questions. This is like last year we had the 100 days, I think it was 100 days challenge. And we have those kind of activities which will continue to happen in the Kodecamp community. Participate and take part and improve yourself. You don't have to wait for the boot camp. The boot camp only happens once a year, right? But it doesn't mean you have to wait until the boot camp before you continue to improve yourself. Like the keynote speaker said, improvement is continuous. Learning is continuous in tech. If you stop, you get left behind. And that is a Kodecamp self-paced learning. And we'll continue to improve our self-paced program. Eventually, we are going to publish courses on our LMS so that people can even go there and learn on their own. And then when they need help, you go to the community, you go to the Discord and you ask questions. That's number 4. Number 3 is a Kodecamp Bootcamp, which is what we are kicking off today. When you hear Kodecamp 1.0 or Kodecamp 2.0 or 3, those are the boot camps. It is a regimented training program, regimented in that you have to follow the strict rules and regulations and the strict schedule. It is a 4-month program. You have to follow the stages. If you have tasks, you have to deliver them on time according to the deadline. If you have quizzes, you have whatever assignments are given to you, and then you get promoted from one stage to the next. You have to cross through 8 stages before you become a finalist in the Kodecamp Bootcamp. So what the Bootcamp does is it forces you out of yourself. If you are going to be dragging yourself normally, if you are on your own, the Bootcamp will force you, because if you don't follow the pace and the tempo of the Bootcamp, you will not get to the finals. And it is only the finals the finalists that finish bootcamp that is step 3, that go to step 2, where we give people opportunity for internships, both paid and unpaid internships. Because an internship is an opportunity for you to learn and to get better. Nobody will actually give you a job if you don't have experience. The internship gives you opportunity to have experience working in real world situation. And like Lawrence has said, we have so many partners who have decided to work with us in Kodecamp to give you opportunities for internship. And there are so many of them already, and there are many who are still coming. So that means that after you have finished a bootcamp, for those in the intermediate stage, and maybe a few people who are excelling very well in the beginner stage, you get opportunity to do internships. And then from internships, if you go to the next cycle again, you come in as intermediate and you do more internships. And that's what continues to happen. You continue to cycle from step 3 to step 2, step 3, you get better and better as the year goes by. Eventually, when you get to an advanced level, you now get to step 1, which is the job placement. And when we talk about job placement, we are talking about both remote job placements, maybe on-site job placements, both in country, in national startups in country, and remote, or even, it's for those who are good enough, you may even relocate, right? Job placement in international companies, right? And these are for those who are really at the best, the top of the line. You have to be really good with many years of experience, many years of internships, and then you can get job placements. And we actually have a lot of partners internationally, who have come in. There are a lot of companies that are coming in from the United States, from North America, Canada, from UK, Europe, looking for talented Nigerians. In fact, a couple of them came to Nigeria last year, and more will even come this year to look for people. The question is, are you good enough? Will you be good enough to be one of those that they will pick? This one is not a matter of what certificates you have. It has to do with your skill and your experience and your knowledge. So that is Kodecamp. That's a Kodecamp pyramid. You basically start at the bottom and you go all the way until you get to the top. And your exit is at the top when you have a good job. As far as I'm concerned, for anybody who is a Kodecamp learner, your final objective is to get a good job. That solves all your problems, all your financial issues. Okay, so that is a pyramid. And the other thing you need to understand about the pyramid analogy is that a lot of people come in at the bottom, but only few people come out at the top. As you can see, the pyramid gets smaller and smaller as it goes up. That means the number of people who get to each level, to the next level, it reduces. It's a natural order of things. Will you be one of those that will remain at the bottom? Or will you be able to find your way all the way to the top and exit, with a good job, with a remote job? This is a challenge that I'm placing to everyone. And that is basically what the Kodecamp framework is all about. So, Lawrence, I don't know if that was the last thing, but I'm always happy to talk about that. And yes, I think I'm done. So, Ike, back to you. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Janebet, for that. Okay, so let's head straight to so we now know about Kodecamp, but now let's talk about Kodecamp 4.0, which is now actually the bootcamp, right? So few things you need to know about 4.0, the training and everything you need to know to succeed. So I'm just going to run that through, right? So first things first, of course, as a company, companies have objectives. Okay, we don't just want to just do Kodecamp because we want to do Kodecamp, but we don't have anything else to do with our time. Okay, which is why we started by first telling you about Kodecamp, the problem, and the problem we're trying to actually solve. Now, but for you being the trainee, being the Bodecamper, okay, one of the objectives or some of the objectives we have, right, for you for this bootcamp is that by the end of this bootcamp, you should be able to develop technical skills in whatever career, or track or area you have actually chosen, whether it's Flutter, whether it's UI, UX, front end, React, or back end, whichever one, or Node, JS, right? We want you guys to actually develop that by the end of, the bootcamp, okay? We'll also need, part of our goals and objectives is for you to also learn problem-solving skills or build problem-solving skills, okay? So there's going to be a lot of things apart from just your normal classes. There are going to be a lot of activities that will actually help you to build these skills. So all I'm just going to ask is that you're open-minded and ready for the tasks ahead, okay? And of course, we also need you to be internship and job ready, okay? We need you to be internship and job ready. But of course, this is just the starting point, and it is how much you're able to give and how much you're able to accomplish that will determine if you are, of course, internship ready, okay? So take notes, there's a lot in store for you, right? There's a lot in store for you, but of course, you really have to put in the work that is needed. Now, as far as basic information is concerned, classes officially begins on the 6th of May, right? 6th of May being Monday, right? That's when classes actually kicks off. Now, the timetable has been dropped for you already. So let me just say this for those of you that are on Discord already. If there's anyone on this call who is not yet on the Discord server, okay, we're going to attend to that so you can keep your questions, or we'll give time to address that, right? But let me just say this for those of you on the Discord. Now we have the community announcements channel. If you really don't know how to navigate Discord, there's a video on the resources channel where justice was actually done to that. So you should actually check that out, or you can just go to our YouTube channel. It's Kodecamp team, and you'll see that video so you understand how Discord actually works. So there is the community announcement channel, as the word states there, community. So it is for everyone, okay? It is for everybody, okay? But once the bootcamp kicks off on Monday, bootcamp information and announcement will now be done in the Kodecamp 4.0 category. Okay, so when I say category, a category basically is just, the literal meaning of the word category. So channels are actually categorized. So you're going to have a list of channels under the 4.0. You see it there, your Discord, Kodecamp 4.0, Kodecamp 4.0, right? And then you have an announcement channel under, and then you have the general, which a lot of you have been posting your grid scores, right? Now, every channel under the Kodecamp 4.0 is bootcamp specific. So once the bootcamp kicks off, there won't be bootcamp information or communication anymore on community channels. It is very important you understand this, right? It's very, very important. So your track channels and every channel you're going to need for the bootcamp is going to be available under the Kodecamp 4.0 category. Very, very important, right? Of course, if there are questions, I'm going to address that during the Q&A session, but take note of that, okay? Webinars that will be announced. We're going to have game nights, right? There'll be prizes to be won. So, of course, if you feel like, you're up for that, well, don't worry, there's something for you. Now, just to introduce, we're going to have also another session. It's going to be an okay, so we're going to have part of the things I want you to prepare for. Okay, for those of you who love competition, you love to compete, right? Well, there's something for you, right? There's something for you. I call it a life code session. So it's going to be a time where we'll get a few persons to compete, and then of course the winner gets a prize and something. So we'll leave the and something till that time actually what comes. Now, still part of the information for the bootcamp, I'm going to just run this through, is code of conduct and expectation. Now, first of all, I need each and every one of you, if you haven't done this after the orientation session, please go and read the rules and regulation. It is very important. It is very important. Ignorance is not bliss in Kodecamp. Let me not just say 4.0, right? Ignorance is not bliss. There is nothing like I did not know, because the information is out there, right? So if you did not go through it, that is not really, that's not on us, because there are certain expectations that are placed on you as a learner. There are certain behaviors that is not expected of you. And if you go against those rules, there will be disciplinary measures, right? There will be disciplinary measures. And I am sure you don't actually want us to take disciplinary measures. Some of those disciplinary measures could be sending you to detention, right? In detention, you're taking off every channel. You don't see anything apart from that detention. It's just you there. I can keep you there for 2 weeks and you'll be behind. And you do a task. When you're done, we'll bring you back. And then, of course, you're behind. You now start playing catch up. Or if it's too severe, we could just kick you out of the boot camp, right? Simple things as, not using vulgar words, right? Those are just minor stuff that, of course, you should actually know. Okay, but I'm just going to, say it. So, like I said, ignorance is not bliss. Okay, ignorance is not bliss. Harassing other members, of course, we won't tolerate that. No spamming or advertisements. Now, let me explain spamming, right? Sometimes we feel spamming is more of maybe you just post the wrong thing, right? Maybe you post something else that is not supposed to be on that channel. That's also spamming. But when you do it repeatedly, you could actually post the right thing. Like a typical example, someone actually did, something, right? Someone posted in the wrong channel and then someone was trying to correct the person, but sent the correction about 6 times. That's spamming. Once is fine, in as much as it's a good thing, right? But once is actually what's fine. So don't spam channels. Every channel is named, and it is named for a reason. So when you see a back-end channel, it means the conversations on that channel should be back-end related. If you see introduction, it means you should introduce yourself. Okay? So you don't, when there's an introduction channel, you don't come to general channel to introduce yourself. That's also spamming, right? So make sure you make use of channels, right, the right way. That is why they are given a name, so you can address them the right properly. You can use them properly. So I'm not expecting after this, I'm not expecting to see some unnecessary messages, right? Even if you have an issue, there is a channel for each of these things. On the Kodecamp server, there's a support channel, right? There's a support channel. All these, there are channels for everything, so use them appropriately, okay? Don't advertise on this group, on this Discord server. Don't. Thank you very much, right? This is not an advertisement platform, okay? This is not social media. Please, we do not tolerate advertisements, okay? Don't advertise other groups unless what an admin permits you. So you don't have to now go and bring another group link, another Discord server, and then you drop that and you tell people to join. That is against the rules. And that particular one is not detention, will actually kick you out. There's no detention for that one, right? Avoid the use of profanity. We will not tolerate that. No solicitation. Don't post links to your website. We don't want all those things, right? You're here to learn, okay? You're not here to, in as much as we'll talk about networking, right? But that's not the primary goal. The primary goal here is for you to upskill yourself. Every other thing is secondary, okay? You can, so here is not a platform for you to promote other platforms. And please, post in English. I know this sounds funny, right? But it's a universal language. It's something we all understand. So this is not a place to communicate in your own language, speak Chinese, speak Yoruba, speak this. No, communicate in what English only. Maintain respect for every member. Keep your messages clear and concise, rather. Okay, if you want to make your point, make it in one message. Don't post two. Don't post it twice or 3 times or 4 times. And don't start mentioning people, a lot of persons. Don't start using at everyone. All those stuff. Of course, we're going to restrict that. Okay. No text bombing. Think before you text in a channel. Right? Think before you text in a channel. Don't spam multiple channels with the same message, right? You've posted, let's say you have an issue, you posted it on a particular channel, maybe general channel. I don't know what makes you think that if you now post it on general, this, that, on 10 channels, that's actually what spamming also. So don't do that, right? I can actually discipline you in spite of whatever problem it is that you actually, the fact that you went against the rule before addressing you. So take note of that. In all, show respect, show compassion, show kindness at all times to your fellow Bootcampers. It is very, very, very important. Okay. So these are just, kind of like a few things I want to, for us to actually know. Now, as far as how classes are going to run, so our classes are usually live classes. So we run our classes on Zoom. So every class is going to be done on Zoom and it will be streamed to YouTube, right? So for those who probably, weren't able to kind of join the class, the live class, which I would advise you to actually join, right? Be part of the live session, right? And in a case where probably it's filled up, you can just join YouTube, or much later, if you're having network issues or you couldn't attend, it will actually be available on our YouTube channel. So do well to follow our YouTube channel at Kodecamp team, right? So that once we upload a new video, you will be aware, right? You don't need to come ask for it. But the moment we go live, you're notified, right? So Zoom is for classes, and then of course we stream that on YouTube. The learning management system, which you'll be introduced to, that's where you're going to have your task. We will onboard you guys specially on that, right? Your task will be posted on the learning management system, right? Your grading and everything, your scores, everything will be done on the learning management system. The Discord server is for communication, right? Reaching out, and of course we have mentors, you have trainers on the call who will be there to, assist you in any with any issue, right, that you actually have. Okay, so that's basically just an overview, right? This is just an overview of Bootcamp 4.0. Now, in the course of the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're still going to have sessions to address certain concerns and issues, and throw more light to wherever you're having difficulty. We call it the Kodecamp office hour. Okay, so in the coming weeks, we're going to have those sessions. So once it's announced, please, if you're having any challenge, do well to actually come on, and then we will address that. So for those of you who probably are on this call and you're not able to join the Discord or any of that, just hold on till the end. We're almost done. I'm going to let you know how we'll actually address you. Okay, we're trying as much as possible to have collate these issues, right? A lot of them are coming in at different times through different channels. So there's one particular channel, medium of communication, if I'm going to use that, for everyone who are probably registered, but for some reason or the other, they haven't joined the Discord, or they are having issues. So if you also know someone, please just hang in there. Towards the end, I'm going to share with you a medium of communication for all those who are having such challenges. It is just for those persons. If you're on Discord and you're having an issue, there is a support channel. Okay, just make use of that. But for those who haven't joined, this medium of communication that will be opened, that I'm going to share with you, is for them. If you actually send a message through that medium and I find out you're already on Discord, I will not attend to you, except you drop it on the support channel. Okay, so I think that is basically that for an overview. Like I said, we'll have more sessions, more concrete sessions coming up in the coming weeks to address much more, as much concerns as may come up. Okay, so thank you very, very much. At this point, I'm going to call on Engineer Nebet Udo. Engineer Lawrence, right? I feel like calling Engineer Beto. There's something he has to say, but I think we'll just shift that towards the end. Okay, so I'm going to hand over to Ms. Lawrence to take us to the next session. I'm not going to tell you what the session is, so he's just going to handle that. Engineer Lawrence, if you can hear me, over to you.
All right, so this session, we want to introduce some of our friends. One of them is on this call. I must apologize because he was ought to have been allowed to speak. Like I promised him that 10 after 8 or 20 minutes after 8 or thereabout. So yes, I think we mentioned that Bootcamp is beginning to attract some interests, and I want to introduce one of my friends now to drop one or two. And I want you people to understand that when you're talking about tech is a global thing. It's not local. So there is standards and there is expectation, and sometimes you need to reach out so that you know what is obtainable, out there. So far back when I was in university around 2009, 2010, I don't know, some of you might know an organization called ISEC. ISEC is an international organization that was established to make impact in the society through youths, right? It was an international organization. It still is an international organization. Yeah, and we do a lot of things. We do projects, exchange program, and a whole lot of impactful activities. So during one of my experience, so we had this project called Project Switch Africa, and I had a friend, Brian, who, against all odds, that was even the period we were talking about, the Niger Delta crisis and everything. He kind of defied all odds to make sure he came to Nigeria to, have that exchange experience. So coincidentally, I happened to be the project manager for that project, and I met this wonderful person, Ryan. He has actually been my friend ever since then. He's into software. So Ryan is a software engineer with over 10 years experience, that is specializing in developing, internal developer platform that enables teams to use the best DevSecOps processes and tools to deliver secure, valuable, and data-intensive solution. He's been technical lead, for a lot of small startups. I can't count them. I think he will speak for himself, right? For many years, currently he's even helping the government. He's a consultant. I was very impressed how far he has gone. Aviation industry. I think there was a time we were even discussing something that has to do with virtual reality and simulations like that. So I want to bring him on. Ladies and gentlemen, I want us to give the floor to Ryan. Ryan, I'm going to bring you up now, and you have the floor. And you've heard a lot about, you've seen a lot about Kodecamp online. Here is it. This is the opening ceremony. I'm very, very happy, and we are glad to have you on call. And our desire is that this relationship will continue, and we'll be able to make something magical and wonderful and impactful out of this. Thank you very much for coming to the call, and I want to bring you up now to have a word or two with our good campus.
Well, thank you very much, Lawrence. You gave me a great introduction. I was going to say a lot of those things, but that was good. So yeah. So yeah, I worked with Lawrence many years ago. It was a great time. It was real eye-opening. I saw a lot of potential, and I've been so impressed with Codehouse and Kodecamp over the many years, actually, quite a few years. That I think the Codehouse and Codecamp's been around, that I wanted to sponsor this year. I wanted to get involved, and I'm excited to watch you all learn and grow, and I wish you all the best of luck. I will say that there was some talks about demographics and jobs and the market and things like that. people, United States and Europe and China, they're kind of peaking with their demographics. And a lot of people here, we're looking towards Africa. Like we're excited to see the growth in the youth, and we're looking over there for to see what's going to come out of that. So we're very excited for you, and I'm excited for this group. So thank you very much. Look forward to talking to some of you in the Discord.
Okay, thank you very much. So there's something I didn't mention. So Ryan is a sponsor for this Bootcamp. So Ryan is the reason why some of you are here. There are a lot of people are asking me, is this free? How is it going to be run? It's because of people like him that looked at us and said, okay, I like what you're doing. I think I want to be a sponsor. And I want to mention something, beyond sponsorship, we have a lot of sponsors, but what is very special to us is that he's getting involved, right? Especially for those of you that are in DevOps, get ready. You're going to be really drilled. You're going to be drilled very well so that you can actually fit into the global work. So there are a lot of eyes on you now. Some of the eyes that will be on you, right? So that means you have to take this seriously. And Ryan equally has offered to help grow, even to the extent of, if possible, developing materials with us, even offering mentorship as well. And that is really very great. This is the first time we're having this kind. He's ready to, nurture a lot of us into world-class, DevOps engineers and stuff. So, Ryan, thank you very much I just had to mention it so that some of us that probably are still having one of our legs out and one of our legs in to kind of bring everything, and commit and, take Codecamp 4.0 especially seriously. So thank you very much for making our time. I know you are, like I said, he's consults for the US government, and for him to make our time to join this call is very, very important to us. So once again, I'll say thank you. I don't know if Engineer Nebe has one or two words to so thank you.
Yeah. So Ryan, thank you very much for being here. It was quite exciting to see you join, and also even more interesting to see you join the Discord. So I hope we can learn a couple of things from you as well, especially in DevOps and DevSecOps, because from our last talk, it was like something very, very precious to you. So. And good enough, we have a DevOps track that we just introduced in Codecamp this year. So all the DevOps people, here is somebody that you guys can learn DevOps, DevSecOps, how it is done at the global, level, international standard. So thank you once again, Ryan. There is somebody else I would like to talk about as well. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to join this call. But he's also a sponsor as well. His name is Sam Bagwat. Sam Bagwat was or is a co-founder of Gatsby. So for those of us who have been using front-end frameworks, Gatsby is actually a front-end framework that is, just like React and all the rest, but it's a much kind of higher level framework. And currently, Sam is doing a new project, building a CRM. It's a top secret, so I won't tell you guys what that CRM is, but I'm sure we'll hear about it when he launches it. I don't know if Sam is on this call, but I don't think he is. I would have seen him. I've seen two Sams, but I don't think he's any of them. So Sam is one of the sponsors of Bootcamp. So just like Ryan here, we also appreciate Sam because a lot of you, this is the other reason or one of the other reasons why you are here. They are supporting Codecamp and providing opportunities for people to learn. So like we say, Codecamp is free, beginners, intermediate, and all the tracks is free. You don't pay anything. And this is the reason why it is free. We have really generous sponsors. So make the best of it. Otherwise, you'll be asking yourself, what was I doing? When others were making the best of it. So Thank you very much to our sponsors. Yeah, so we also have others, sponsors and supporters. Yeah, we have one of them is my good old friend from a long time ago. His name is Babatope Olajide, Black Force. So Black Force is also a training outfit out of Canada. So Black Force focuses on Salesforce training for Nigerians who have migrated to Canada and to North America. Yeah, so we also thank them. They are one of the other sponsors. Yeah, we also have Bonitas. Bonitas have been sponsoring and supporting Kodecamp right from the first, from the first cohort. You hear a lot about all of these companies later on. And of course, Innovantics has been a sponsor as well. Innovantics has also taken a bunch of people on internship. Then Messenger is also a partner that has supported us and also continue to, they took a bunch of our finalists last year. Some of you on this call probably have been the ones that did your internship at Messenger and Innovantics as well. Yeah, we also have Oyald. Oyald is a new partner that is also sponsoring Kodecamp. And because of Oyald, a bunch of you are able to join and participate in Kodecamp. We have Cypher Crescent as well. Cypher Crescent is one of our core sponsors as well. And they've also been supporting and providing internship opportunities as well. Yeah, so those are some of the few. There are a lot of others. Maybe we'll have a different discussion around our supporters and we'll talk to them. We do that mostly during the closing ceremony, but this is really for you, the learners who are joining. So yeah, again, thank you very much to all the sponsors. I'll hand back the mic to IK. IK, I think you will take on the next part of it, right? IK, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Nibet. Okay, so as you've handed the baton to me, I'm going to hand it to my co-anchor for the next session. So Imole, over to you.
All right, so I hope you're not sleeping on the call. Right about now, we are going to be introducing our alumni. A very few portion of them from Bootcamp 1.0, Bootcamp 2.0, Bootcamp 3.0. So if you are here and you are still thinking, am I going to finish this? This is the time to tell yourself, I need to get things going. All right, so the first person I'll be inviting on this call is Daniel Obasui. Daniel is a software developer. He joined us in Kodecamp 1.0. And I'll be handing over the mic to him to, just tell us a bit about how Kodecamp has helped his journey. Daniel, if you can hear me. All right. While we wait for Daniel, I would like to move to Titilayo.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Titilayo Asuluku, and like this rightly say, I'm a product designer. I work at Sanimara as a product designer. So I joined Kodecamp 2.0. So I joined as how would I call it now? A total beginner. Like I had no idea about what UI UX is all about. So when I saw the flyer for Kodecamp, it looked like something that I should really try, UI UX design. That's because I had a background a little bit in design because I was a social media manager. And as a social media manager, sometimes when you meet graphic designers to help you with your content. They can tell you they don't have time, they are busy and all of that. So I had to learn how to use Canva to do designs. But then later on, I realized that social media was not my thing. I don't really enjoy it. So I was like, okay, what next can I look into? So I started checking out different tech skills online. Then I saw UI UX. I was like, okay, let me give it a try. And then luckily for me, while I was open to trying new things, I saw Codecamp Flyer 2.0. And I decided to try it out. And I won't lie to you, it was something I really enjoyed. Though during the program, I won't lie, we were really drilled. I remember IK was a very tenacious mentor on the platform, IK and some other people. They were really, really tenacious. And I had very good mentors. I think then it was Uchechi that was teaching, that was my mentor for UI UX and some other people. Well, IK was like, no, IK is not the Messiah. It was like the terror. We were scared of him, but all of this were good because it actually trained us and helped us to be a better person, especially me as a designer. So I had discipline. I know not to be slothful when it comes to my work, give excellence, because if you don't do your work well, you won't get to the next stage. And all of these things will prepare you to be a better person. It might look like they were a bit tough, but then these were all things that need to be instilled in every one of us, you get. So you don't just come there to the platform and then learn how to be a UI UX designer, but then they instilled other skills in us, how to be diligent, how to be very good at your job. So when you give out to your product, you don't want to see something that is not well done. It has to be well done. So you don't give them trashy things because you just want to get your assignment done. And I won't lie to you, this thing has helped me in my place of work. So anytime I'm giving an assignment or a task to do at my place of work, I ensure that I give out excellence, nothing but excellence. So Codecamp was a lovely experience for me. It set the background for my journey in product design, basically. So that's it. That's it for me. But then I hope that you guys will enjoy Codecamp like I did. It was a rewarding process, I won't lie to you. And I get to learn teamwork, collaborate with other people from different tracks, even with developers and all of that. So I hope you guys will enjoy it and also have a very good testimony like I did while I was at Codecamp. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Titilayo. That was a very resounding and I hope you are taking the advice. Please do. So right about now, I'll be bringing up Daniel again. The network kicked him out the other time. So Daniel, will be having you now. Daniel, if you can hear me, you can unmute your mic.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
Awesome. Okay, my name is Uyo Sase Daniel Basi. I currently work with Stanbic IBTC as a developer, majorly Angular in bank. And before Stanbic, after Codecamp, I got into Era 360, which was a startup then. That was where I kicked off from. And that was immediately after Codecamp. I was a member of the GDG, that's Google Developers Group. And in the group, a job ad was posted. And I was still fresh. We just finished training and I just decided to apply. And so the coordinator of the group then recommended me as an active member. So I had the interview with the CTO then. And everything I learned on Kodecamp became what I just threw out there. I can see Ogochukwu is saying, my guys, yeah, Ogochukwu was our mentor then. He was my trainer. He was our driller. We had to work within a very short time, and I had to work. I was coming from an IT support role, and I had to be balancing work and learning. And we were first set Codecamp 1.0, so there were a lot of activities to be done at the same time. And a lot of my friends, and I think I have one other person also that went through the program that is also with Stanbic, and some other persons with Tech Expert, and also a lot of them. And some I saw them on the slide as trainers, as mentors. I'm extremely proud because Codecamp did a bunch of works on us. HNG, I would say I was an HNG indirect reject. HNG bounced us to Codecamp. I got into Codecamp to learn the basics that I did not have. I did not know anything about JavaScript when I joined. And from there, I learned React. My first job with around 360, I had to pick up Angular. And that was how I started working with Angular. And today, I write Angular and I also write React, which I learned from Codecamp. The entire core, one of the major core things that you learn in Codecamp is to work in teams, ability to be able to communicate, ability to be able to do the job. So there is no, I've not done this before, or I cannot do it. It's always a case of, oh, I will look up and see how to get it done. When a task is given, you find every way to get it done. And this became an attribute that I always put in for every of my job role, and also the leadership part of things that comes in, because you get you are given responsibilities and you need to bring people together. You know, when you have crowd, you are broken into, you have random people. So you have to be able to manage everybody to deliver tasks. And one of the core projects we had to deliver at the end of the day was LMS. LMS was very, very taxing for us. I don't know if that's what we're utilizing now for Codecamp. I would most likely confirm, but it would be great if that was improved on. But it was because that was what we were told, that it would be improved on. We did the UI with React, and we couldn't complete the integration of APIs. Then the backend guys did the job, and it became my reference point that we built LMS. I built a learning management system with React after learning from Codecamp. And it's always the first thing. I cannot say I started tech without mentioning Codecamp. And so it's guaranteed that you would get the best. So it's your responsibility now for you. This is just an advice point for you that are going through the program, to be able to be willing to pay the price. Because trust me, in tech, nobody's going to spoon feed you. You just have to be able to take responsibility. Ownership is the only way that makes you to be sought out from the crowd in the tech space. And you need to understand delayed gratification. You will fall a lot of times. If you do not get red in your IDE, that's for the developers now. UI UX guys might not get that joke. But if you are not getting red lines, you have not yet started writing code. But when you start seeing red lines and your compiler is throwing errors, then you are on track. So, and when you get new errors, it means that you are making progress. So it's part of it. The errors are part of it. You need to embrace the errors, because if you are able to overcome that bug, trust me, you will not encounter it again. And the next thing I would want to say is, do not shy away from helping others. That is the only way to develop yourself very fast. So one of the persons I picked that up from was Melford. Well, Melford was part of us in the program, always available to help, always available to help. Set up a Google Meet. If you are having any blocker, if they give you an assignment, let us come together and solve the problem. Let's do it together. Let's do it together. And that is how you are forced to go online, go to YouTube, Google, to get more resources to learn. So always be ready to learn. And this will help you to also publicize yourself as a solutions person, because tech is more like solving problems. So you are a solution person. So, and once people start seeing you as somebody that is ready to help, you become someone that they want to keep your contacts, so that whenever they have issues, they can come to you. And Codecamp also taught us to learn in the open. So as you are learning, ensure that your social media platforms, your contact list, your WhatsApp status, everybody is aware that you are learning. Let them know that you have started a journey, and let them be your accountability partner, so that they can follow you up to say, you've not posted about what you learned today. That alone will remind you to stay on track. And those were part of the tools that I did. And you will see somebody that will comment. You will think people are not monitoring your social media moves. Trust me, people are monitoring it. And when they hear your success story, when you post that, oh, you gotten a job, you will see the amount of people that will celebrate you. And people would also recommend you based on the fact that they see that you are consistent. I think I'll keep it here so that other persons can be able to talk. Thank you very much. And I am hoping to see you guys tell your success stories just the same way we are sharing us today.
Thank you so much, Daniel. You know, we did Codecamp 1.0 together. Yes, thank you so much. That is a very resounding one too. So now I'll be moving to Sheriff. Sheriff, if you can hear me, this is the time to unmute your mic.
Yes, I can hear you, Imolayo. Okay. Wow. Good evening, everyone. So my name is Abdurrahim Sharifdin. As you can see on the screen, I I'm a software developer. Although for now I am focused on Simple Soul, as I'm popularly known as Simple Soul. So for now I'm focused on web development and mobile development. On my web development, I use React and Vue. I use Next.js. I use Nuxt. I use some little bit of backend and other tools that will enable me to complete my web development. And also I build mobile platforms and applications also with Flutter, React, and many more tools like that. So well, my journey. To be honest, I started. I've been a wanderer. I've been curious about development since secondary school. So I've always had an interest in web development. So, but then there was no guide. There was no mentor. Nobody to even tell me anything about all of this process. So I was opportune to be posted to Akwa Ibom during my service year. So while on service, I still my wondering and being curious. I picked up some tools. I've used Dreamweaver. I used CorelDRAW to deploy, not deploy, to just build some static web page and all of that. Trying things out on my own. Just trying things out on my own. I was really struggling then. No idea of what I was even doing. So luckily for me, I saw the flyer from Kodecamp in 2021, which was Kodecamp 2.0, 21 or 22. Yeah, 22, sorry, Kodecamp 2.0. So I applied and I joined the team, and then we started. It was a little bit confusing for me from the beginning, but then I get used to the people because, like I said, I've not been really working with people. I was always working alone and struggling alone. But then with Kodecamp, you get to work with other colleagues, people with like minds, people who are interested in what you're also interested in. So there I met some interesting persons like Giyu, like Mubarak, who already, I think they have some idea. So apart from our mentor being an amazing person of Mr. Ogochuk's Odom, and then Femi Blaze, I've forgotten, Akinbola, Akininola, and then same Imoliayo was also my mentor there in 2.0. So they were very amazing. Ogochuk's is like one of the best trainer as far as Kodecamp is concerned. So he's a very good trainer. So apart from that, the ability or the chance that I also have myself is the fact that I'm within a community and within other developers who are ready to take you up, even if you're getting tired of what you were doing and you're confused. People are always there to, bro, what's up? What's going on? Wow, so there is, okay, what's the challenge? And then people come up and then assist you. So that is one thing that Kodecamp gave to me. The community, they gave me the click of front-end developer, which has been really helping me from day one to today. I'm still working with most of them. Basically 2.0, I'm a noisemaker, I would say. I make noise, not just noise. I like to talk. I like to be open. If I have any issue, most of the time they give us tasks, I will just come up and say, I'm done. Even when I'm not done, just trying to give myself a challenge to be able to, when someone asks me a question about it, I will want to go back and make a research so that I can finish this thing as soon as possible and then submit. So I make noise a lot on the random. Most of the time they call me random guy myself and my mentor. So from there, well, I don't just make noise, like I said. I make noise and I know things. I try to make research based on what we were being taught in class and then what I learn on my own, because I don't just I don't just like rely on what my mentor teach me. I try to make researches on my own also. So from there, after the Kodecamp, I was among the finalists. I had a project with Titilayo, who also presented just now. So she was in my group, and then we had a very amazing presentation at the end of the course. So after that, few weeks after that, IKs showed up in my DM and he was like, "Hey bro, Alpha, are you available for a job?" I was really surprised because I was not expecting it at all. I already gave up, not like give up, I already just zeroed my mind on getting anything as soon as that possible. All right. I already zeroed my mind. I was thinking, okay, I have to like learn an advanced, get to intermediate and all of that before I even have a chance. But then Codecamp gave me an opportunity to even, number one, they removed my doubt. So IK came in and then said, "Are you available for a job?" Although I may be on internship for the moment, but then it's still a job, right? So I was placed on an internship with Kasi Cloud, which is one of the biggest data center in Nigeria right now. So I was there for about 3 months until, well, I did well. I could say I did very, very well. And then I had to take me back themselves because I was doing wonderful. So I was using my training from Kodecamp to better myself based on the background I was given to us and then the orientation that was given to us by IKs, by Engineer Niebert and Ogochuk's and everyone. So I kept on developing myself on the skills I had initially, and then I think Code House noticed me and then they decided to pick me again that, okay, I think we can do more with us instead of with Kasi Cloud. So that's just basically it. Currently, I'm working with Code House and I'm doing well. And well, I've worked on several projects, LMS. I'm currently working on MSF. I'm working on few mobile project. I've worked on my own deploy website. I've worked on Swift PayU. I've worked on SM Comic mobile app. Everything are online. You can go and check all of these things with the help of Codecamp. If not for Codecamp, I would still be struggling with my whatever it is that I was struggling with. So that's just basically it. Thank you very much, Code House and Codecamp, for what you've done for me. I hope I'll just say this, a quick one to the Codecamp trainees, that please feel free to talk. Just try as much as possible to learn how to talk. It's very good. I used to do it in school. I don't talk. Throughout my days in the university, I was just at the back, silent guy and all of that. So, but then I realized I was missing out in a lot of things, couple of things that they will share in class that I would not even know about. So, but then in Codecamp, I decided to talk. It didn't really take anything away from me, but then it put me out. So that's what I would say. Learn how to talk. Don't just talk. Know something and talk responsibly. So that's just my journey from the beginning till now. Thank you very much, Kodecamp. Thank you very much, everyone. And have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Don't just talk responsibly. All right, so we are moving on. Our next alumni is Fatima. Fatima, if you can hear me, this is the time to unmute your mic. Fatima, if you can hear me. Okay.
Sorry. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead, Fatima.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the Kodecamp Bootcamp. I'm Fatima, and I'm a graduate of the last set of the Kodecamp Bootcamp. That's the Kodecamp 3.0. So I was basically part of the recent experiment. First off, I know that some of you guys have some prior knowledge to the program and that you'll be embarking on, while some don't, but I can assure you that you all made like an excellent choice in joining this program because they really want the best for you and out of you. So as a graduate of the last set, I can personally attest to the transformative power of the program because I started my own during my NYSC, and at that time, I was basically self-learning my way through the tech field. But when a friend saw the Kodecamp flyer, he asked us to join and to sign up basically. And here I am. The bootcamp was really crazy for me because I had a background in, my background was in accounting, and I applied for the, I think was it the intermediate Node.js class, and they were grilling us. But the assignments, everything, classes was insane. So we had to do like a lot of out of class learning. But essentially they keep you grounded because it is really, really regimented. But ultimately it depends on you to like make the most of the experience. After the bootcamp, I secured a paid internship position at Messenger through a referral from the Kodecamp, which was like a whole ball game on its own. But the program, the internship provided me with a practical understanding of the tech industry and basically further polished my skills. I was able to integrate what I learned at the bootcamp, like the teamwork, problem solving, accountability, and essentially the importance of continuous learning. As a matter of fact, my capstone for Kodecamp was like the major aspect of my interview. So don't take any of the experience for granted. In the coming week and month, you will basically be pushed to your limits. You'll be asked to learn and grow like in ways that you find difficult, but you won't be alone. You have like tons of other people to learn from, instructors that will serve as mentors, and other people to help and like support you. And like this Lyle said, you'll be terrorized into like being better. So basically my advice is embrace the challenge, ask for help others, do and submit your assignments before the deadline. Always check your learning management system. Always check it so that you be aware of like deadlines. Interact with the community, improve your knowledge outside of class, and stay consistent. Well, and some days you'll be like, be second guessing it, but it is definitely worth it. And I hope you guys like enjoy the entire program. That's it from my end. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Fatima. Embrace the challenge, ask for help, and help others. I can see the chat. Some people are saying grinding. Yes, you have to grind. So finally on our list, for our alumni session, we have Akonwa. If you can hear me, Ugoma, this is the time to unmute your mic.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
Good
Hello, my
evening.
name is Akawa Ugoma. I applied for Codecamp 3.0 last year as an absolute newbie. I had absolutely no idea how to use Figma, Miro, and the likes, but our mentors did a very good job introducing us and guiding us through. A friend actually sent the link to me, was like, just apply, let's see how it goes. And I went for it, and I have not regretted my decision ever since. Of course, we all face several blockers. I had so many blockers while learning code UI UX design last year, but our mentors, they did a very great job, and also research as well also helped me. One thing I loved was the constant push to learn more and improve myself and my skills. It proved challenging sometimes. I will not lie to you. I told my friends so many times, I don't think I can do this thing again, no. But I saw it through to the end, and I was lucky enough to make it to the final stage. And I also participated in the project and had the honor of presenting on behalf of my group. It was a very rewarding experience. We had an opportunity to collaborate, to meet different people, you know, coming together to meet people who have different beliefs, who work differently, who have different ways they work. So you just have to know how to accept people and their differences. So it was a very wonderful experience. I also participated in a 30-day challenge for an internship position at Code House, and I was fortunate to secure a position. And I'm currently interning with them. We are working on so many wonderful projects that you guys will get to see very, very soon. I must say that my skills have improved significantly since the start of the internship, and has also given me the confidence to start working on several projects at the site. And I also applied for Codecamp 4.0, the intermediate level. So I would also be learning alongside some of you, and I look forward to it. So I will be listing out some things I noticed about my attitude towards Codecamp last year. Some things that I think we can all learn from. So the first thing is to be dedicated. I think one of the alumni mentioned that you have to be dedicated, manage your time properly. I know that some of us have things we do at the side, some of us are students, some of us are working. I'll just say that manage your time properly, make sure you join every class and check your LMS to know when different tasks, when their deadlines are. Be very vocal. I'm a very quiet person. Like, I'm the kind of person you would probably never hear me speak in a meeting, or you might never even hear my voice in a class. But moving forward, I hope to be more vocal, but because it just helps you at the end of the day. Ask questions, your concerns, your complaints, make sure you talk. Our mentors are there to help us, and they do a very good job of, answering our questions and helping us, whatever challenges we might be facing. Submit your tasks on time. Procrastination is my number one enemy. I'm trying to do away with procrastination, because if your tasks pile up, it's a headache. So I've learned that once tasks come in, just do it immediately and forget about it. Because if your tasks pile up, I don't know, it's just going to be very difficult for you to do everything at first and submit on time. And also be very intentional about what you plan to achieve with this opportunity. So many of us, we just applied, okay, let's just see how it goes. But I feel like we have to, just sit down with ourselves, have a board meeting with all your personalities, with yourself, and just decide that, okay, this opportunity, I am going to make the most out of it. I'm going to be dedicated, and I promise you, you will not regret it. Also, they say no man is an island of knowledge. Constantly improve your skills. You can never know too much, which is why I applied for the intermediate level again, and I just hope that we have a wonderful time, and I wish all of us good luck, and I cannot wait to see each and every one of us at the finish line. Thank you, and have a wonderful night. Bye.
Thank you so much, Ugoma. Thank you for the quick nuggets there. I hope you are all taking notes. All right, so I'll be handing over to my co-host in person of Ikechukwu Achom. And this is the time where you get to speak. Don't worry, I won't open the plastic yet. I'm not opening it. All right, Ike, is over to you.
Okay, thank you very much, Imoli. And yeah, the alumni, thank you so much. It's actually a nostalgic moment, right? Hearing some of you say some things and the chats. Yeah, it's actually good to know that there are persons who really appreciate what we do, right? And who have gone, further with their career, and they're actually doing a lot of good things. They're doing great things. They're improving, right? Some working in Code House. We have interns, Messenger, and a lot of other places where people are actually working. People who have come through Codecamp, right? So it's good to have you guys. I want to say a big thank you for making out time. Some of you now, you're now working, you're now busy, you're not earning big money. You're not a busy person, so your time is not very valuable. So I'll still say thank you, right? Yeah, thank you for making out time to, join us, right? Ugoma, Fatima, Daniel, Sheriff, Titilayo. Yeah, I'm really, really grateful. Okay, so yeah, I think this is the section you guys have actually been waiting for, because I've seen a lot of things on the charts, right? So yeah, let's clear the air. So this is question and answer time. All right, so if you have a question, raise your hand. Please do not in your life think of unmuting when you are not called. Okay. Yeah, let me just leave it at that. Don't unmute your mic if you have not been called. So if you have a question, right, just raise your hand and I will call on you. I'll call on you to, ask your question. So all of you who have been answering asking questions rather on the chat. I intentionally didn't answer some of them so I don't have to repeat myself, right? So a lot of repeated questions there. I didn't want to answer for one because someone might go offline and come back and then doesn't check the message history or probably doesn't see the message history and know that that particular question has been answered. So it's at this point that I'm going to clear the air. So I have 6 hands raised, and I'm going to just keep it at, a maximum of 10 because I know some questions actually bring questions that will bring another question, right? So let's say 10 persons, right? 10 persons, yes. So yeah, that maximum. Any other issue, we'll probably just move that to the office hour session. So we may probably just have an office session maybe on Monday or Tuesday. I will communicate that on the announcements channel on the Kodecamp space. Okay, so I think I have 10 hands, so that's fine. So I'm going to ask you to unmute. So you're going to get a notification, right? I think I just disabled, people from unmuting randomly. So I'll ask you to unmute. You'll see that on the notification. Just accept that, and then you can go ahead to speak. So I'm going to start with Akindele, and then to Stanley, Samson, Paul, Yesi, right? Ekunwe. Apologies if I do not pronounce your name properly. Bolahan, and then Oladile. So let's start with Akindele. So Akindele, go ahead with your question.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity you have given to me. Please, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
All right. Please, I've been hearing about the mode of the way we are going to be having our classes. So I think I heard that we are going to have it on Zoom. Please, I want to just plead, or is it a request, if it is possible that you can provide a WhatsApp, or how are we going to be notified for lectures, by the time we begin? Then if links are going to be sent, I want to say that if it is possible that maybe each group should have maybe a kind of WhatsApp with their community leader or something like that one. So that's just my first question. Then the second one, please, are we going to cover the whole lot of some of those things required in, let's say I'm going in for JavaScript, React, all those within the space of this program? Those are just my questions, sir. I don't know if you understand them.
Okay, so first of all, there will be no WhatsApp group, right? That's why you're on Discord. So every communication about class, links, and all those will be done on the Discord channel. Secondly, I think I just skipped the second question. Just skipped my head. Just ran away. What was that? Your second question? Let me. You can unmute. I think it just just disappeared.
All right. What I'm trying to ask is that, for example, JavaScript, React, are we going to
Okay. Yes. There of course we have a curriculum, right, for the duration of this program. So everything that is meant to be covered in a particular track, it will be covered. Okay. So I think that's basically that. Stanley, you're next. So please, WhatsApp is prohibited. Okay, I don't even want to see it on. Please hold on, Stanley. Don't mute. Just stay there. WhatsApp link is prohibited. The moment I see a link, you are out of this bootcamp, and there is no coming back. There is no appeasing me. There is no apologies. There is no sorry. I think the person who spoke, right, our keynote speaker, right, that was a very impactful one. Right, he mentioned something about emotional, EQ and emotional intelligence, right, and the likes. I don't have EQ in Kodecamp, right? I'm one person that has no EQ, or let me say I have little or no EQ, right? So your sorry doesn't mean anything to me. Okay, just do the right thing. So I'm sounding it again. No WhatsApp group. So don't drop any link and say front end people in Ghana, front end people in Nigeria, front end people in Jigawa, let's come together and form a community. If you form a community, you'll be the chief of that community. You'll be the Igwe, you'll be everything. In fact, you supply social amenities or whatever they call it outside of Kodecamp. So take note of that. Okay, Stanley, go ahead.
Hi, hi, good evening, everyone. It's nice to
Yes, good
be
evening.
with you guys today. I have just three questions to ask, and the first one is when I did apply for this bootcamp, I chose my learning level as a newbie, and on the Discord, when I saw the learning timetable, everything unveiled in my head that that was a mistake I did. I'm supposed to choose intermediate because I know React to an extent. So I wanted to know if I can change that to intermediate. So I hope my first question is clear before I move to the second one.
Okay, and then let me just answer it so that it doesn't fly. Okay, so this is it. If you feel you actually chose the wrong level or track, when you are signing up on the learning management system, you have that opportunity to switch. But let me say this, right? Especially for those who, let me be generic first. One of the things I always say in Kodecamp is this: don't sabotage yourself. Don't sabotage your learning. Don't assume a level that you are not. Okay, being a beginner in Kodecamp does not reduce you. In fact, you're doing yourself good because you are making sure you are grounded, right? Last year we had a lot of persons who claimed they were intermediate, and then of course we gave them a test. Okay, if you pass this test, that means you're intermediate. You can then move, and a lot of them failed it, right? In fact, some of them, as they saw it, immediately they went to beginner. Okay, so beginner does not, in as much as it also means novice, it also goes to say that, look, you may have started something, right? Doesn't mean you are just a beginner, or it means that you should not continue. You should now switch to intermediate. Intermediate, please let me say this. Intermediate means that you are not a beginner. A typical example of intermediate is this: there are certain things. See, the expectation on intermediate is high, just so you know. For some of you who probably want to run, there are you will not be taught like a beginner, that's for sure. Your task will not be like a beginner. Expectation is high because you're telling me that you are smart enough to know certain things even on your own. So don't sabotage yourself. Joining intermediate does not mean that don't even try to raise your shoulder. There will be a test for that, that's for sure, right? There'll be a test, right? But even if there's none, don't sabotage yourself. If you have knowledge in React, the question is how grounded grounded are you in HTML, CSS, let's say Tailwind, Bootstrap, JavaScript? How grounded are you? If you are not, don't run to React. Don't run. There will be Kodecamp 5.0. There will be another Kodecamp. There's still time to learn these things. In the 30 days challenge that we did, right? The way it was done, in fact, somebody who went through that 30 days challenge can actually, to an extent, go for intermediate, right? Because some beginner concepts, you have to even learn it to be able to do the tasks. Okay, so don't overestimate your ability. At the same time, don't underestimate, but I think it's better to underestimate than overestimate, because if you flop in intermediate, one thing you should know is this: we know you. And one thing I identify in people in Kodecamp is character. If I see you as somebody that is trying to overestimate, don't worry, you already marked yourself. So please, this is for everyone. Don't overestimate yourself. Be very sure that you are intermediate worthy before going in there. Else you will flop and you will have to come back again. Can I tell you, I think in the last cohort, people were moving from intermediate back to beginner. Once you sign up on the LMS, listen carefully, there is no going back. There is no, I want to change my track, I want to change my level, right? Once we onboard you and you say it is intermediate, you either make it or drop out. So there is no, sir, please, when I chose intermediate, I was feeling very down. My girlfriend just broke my heart, so I wasn't thinking straight. But now my eyes have opened. The Lord spoke to me. I know I should now be in beginner. I've realized my mistake. I'll tell you, thank you very much. It's good to realize, but you will pay the price by leaving and coming back the next time. So please take note of that. Stanley, question number 2.
Okay, the second question is kind of funny though. I don't know, do you guys permit people to be on 2 track? Although this question has already been answered, but I still need to ask. From the experience, the past, so let me say the alumni they've shared. I know this question has been answered partly, but I say let me still ask. Do people
Sorry, what was the answer?
What I've seen, the experience of those people, like they did a lot of grinding, so there will be no space for someone to do double track, because even if they,
Thank
you
you,
guys
thank
are
you.
permit
That you've
somebody.
answered yourself. You've answered yourself. Question number 3. You've answered yourself. No 2 tracks, just 1. Thank you.
Okay. Wow, what just happened to my brain? I'm sorry. Maybe I'll skip this. I just got a blank brain for my 3rd question. It's not that necessary. So thank you very much for the time given to me.
You're welcome, Stanley. Thank you very much. Yes. Samson, let's hear you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity to learn. Yes, please, I want to ask now, after going through the Discord channels, particularly for this particular program, Codecamp 4.0, I realized we still have just a few channels for this present cohort. Please, I want to ask that, would there be a future addition of each program to Codecamp 4.0 for us to have a better exchange of information?
Yes, there will.
Okay,
Thank
you.
From tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, you guys will start seeing your track channels, the front end, the back end, the design, and the whole lot. So you guys can start engaging. So yes, there will.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. Okay, Paul, you've been very, very active on the chats. Okay, so let me hear your question. Go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm delighted and excited to join this Codecamp 4.0. First of all, I thank the organizers of this program, because I've been really praying to have this kind of opportunity where, even though I want to be beaten, I should be beaten to learn. So thank you for the opportunity. So my question is, I have 2 questions. First of all, is on the certificates that somebody mentioned. I think one of the organizer mentioned something about at the end of this Codecamp, we are going to be given a SAT or not. I wasn't clear of that. Also, the second question is the LMS that we are going to sign in. I don't know how it works, because I don't know how it works. So are they going to show us, are they going to tell us how it works, how to track, how to be on the same timeline with assignment and others? Thank you very much.
Okay, excuse me. Before I answer you, let me address someone. Okay, let me calm down. But please, if you're on this call and you're requesting remote control of my screen, I don't know what you want to do. Should I hand over to you so you anchor the question and answer session? So please, if you're not sure of how to navigate Discord, don't press stuff. You don't do that on a call to start trying out stuff. Create a Zoom meeting by yourself and then test out stuff. You can invite your friend and say, hey, I want to press this button. What does it do? Okay, so don't do that here. Paul, to answer your question, the LMS, right, you've been introduced to it, so you don't need to worry about yourself. From next week, everyone will be onboarded on the learning management system. It's actually not complicated. Okay, just log in, you see your tasks, submit your tasks, you see your scores, you see if you've been promoted. Yes, and by the way, yeah, I think I failed to mention a very key thing in Codecamp, right? So basically, Codecamp runs in stages. right? Stage 1 down to stage 8. Stage 8 being the final stage. Okay, so so I'm going to put it like this. Stage 8 means you are a finalist. It means you're now qualified for certification, right? Okay, let me just use the word qualified. Okay, it means that we can certify you. Maybe I should put it that way. That is being a finalist, stage 8. Now, being a finalist means you are you can now participate in the capstone project, because we have a capstone project at the end where you work as a team, right, from each track to what come up with a product. That being part of that team means we can now certify you. So being a finalist does not guarantee certification. Let me put that out there. So you don't run and enter your finalist, you now go, and then when you're now part of a group, you don't impute anything, you don't commit, you don't work, because this group, somebody else will do your task. Don't worry, you will finalize and you will leave without a certificate. So just take note of that. But to answer that answers your first question. There is certification for everyone who is a finalist, and for those who are coders or people who understand the and or not operators, right? And so you're a finalist and you also participated fully in the capstone project. Okay, so I hope, does that answer your question?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul. Yessie, it is time for you to ask your question.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, my question is that I don't know. I chose intermediary because I already have knowledge on HTML and CSS. So I wanted JavaScript. So during the registration, I saw some things about full stacks, Flutter, and Next.js, things like that. And I don't really understand. So I just chose the one with JS because I wanted knowledge on JavaScript. So I don't know where I should belong now. Is it the beginner or the intermediary? So that's the question.
Okay. Okay, so just take note of this, right? You should be in beginner front end, to be specific. Okay. I apologies if this sounds offensive, but I doubt I'm not fully confident in your HTML CSS. I'm not saying you don't know it. I'm talking about the level, right? How long have you been doing it? How long?
For 3 months.
Oh, 3 months. All right, go front end.
Yeah.
Front end beginner. That's where you should start from. Okay.
Okay.
Please do it. Okay, please. I'll beg you.
Okay.
We're all good. Okay. It's okay. Ekunwe. Let's have you. Let me leave the other name before I bite my tongue.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, it's a guy. Please, can you pronounce that the first name?
It's Ekunwe.
No, the other one.
Esiosa.
Sosa. Okay, go ahead. Sounds nice. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay, firstly, I'm very happy to be here. My question is that is there any specific coding challenges or open or projects that interns typically get involved in? And does learning multiple coding language give you an advantage, or is it just okay to be specialized on one?
Okay, so come again. Let me take it one step at a time. Start with the first one.
Okay, I said, are there any specific coding challenges or projects we're most likely to face during the overtime?
So when you say during the overtime, what do you mean by overtime? What's overtime to you?
Like as you are carrying out projects.
Okay, so first of all, you're in a boot camp, right? And part of the things you do in this boot camp is learning, and also of course, you're going to be given tasks, right? You're going to work on projects now. But if you're looking for coding challenges, right, you can go to the community platform. right? There's a 30-day challenge channel, right? Go to the threads, okay? There's a 30-day challenge for UI UX, for front end, for React, I think for Node.js, right? I think I also did for Android, but some persons were not interested, so I actually just stopped halfway. But of course, if there's someone who wants me to continue, I can keep on doing, arranging all those stuff. So yeah, there are going to be stuff, right? Both during the boot camp, after the boot camp, there will be stuff to work on. You'll be the one to get tired.
Okay. Okay. My second question is it necessary to be into multiple languages, or is it better to be specialized on just one?
Okay, so this is it, right? I'm trying to look for the best way to answer this out of the whole programming stuff. Now, there's what we call syntax and semantics, right? Syntax just being rules and the likes. Now, a typical example is this: go is go. If you know the meaning, right, of go, it is go, regardless of what language you actually say it. You can say it in English, you can say it in Akwa Ibom, you can say it in Yoruba. But if you understand what go is, it is go. Now, the thing about programming languages, of course, in the long run, you can pick up stuff, but it's very good to first of all start with understanding what programming is before getting into choosing a language. Of course, the language is dependent on what you are actually going to be, doing, the project, the program, or whatever you're going to be working on, right? For example, I'm into mobile, right? So part of mobile requires me to learn languages like either Java, okay, or Dart or Kotlin, right? So if it's native, I can either learn Java or what's it called? Or Kotlin. Cross-platform, I can decide to go for Dart or React if I'm doing React Native. Okay, so the language is specific to the particular path that you actually was going for. So it's not about learning multiple languages. Okay, first of all, stay on one. Find your core and the language that it supports, okay, and focus there. Now, when you are stable enough, then you can branch out into picking, but don't just learn languages for learning's sake. Learn it because you want to apply it, okay?
Okay, sir. Yeah. Thanks for the reply.
Okay. Oladele. Okay, so I think we have just 4 persons and then we are out of here. Maritala Oladele, are you there? Okay, I don't think he's there. So Joseph, you can unmute now.
Okay, good evening.
Yes, good evening. Can you be a bit louder?
Can you hear me now?
Thank you. I can hear you very well.
Okay, so I'm going to make this as quick as possible. I just wanted to know if one could switch tracks.
Okay, well, like I said, when there's going to be time for that, right? When we're onboarding you on the learning management system, yes, you're free to switch to whatever track you want. And that, like I said, that is the only time. There will be no going back. So if you want to pray about it, go and pray. If you want to fast. If you want to call a native doctor or a pastor, whatever, however you want to make that decision, right? Get a mentor, whatever, consultant, whatever. In fact, do 3 days dry. I don't know, but make that decision. And then when we're onboarding you on the LMS, you get to choose that. After once you have chosen, there is no going back. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. I'm very grateful.
Yes, I'm very grateful to you too. Okay, I think I'm happy that some questions have been answered on the chat. So the person who is saying having private classes with our mentors outside working hours, that is no. Let me sound this. Of course, the mentors and trainers are aware. Whenever you have issues or questions, right, ask it on the group, right? Number one is that you're helping others to learn. Number two, you're helping the mentor not to answer the same question over and over again. Okay, so you don't meet a private mentor and tell you, okay, I want to have classes outside this thing, private classes. No, you can't do that. Okay, it's a big no. I think Nyanibet has addressed that, but I also want to say that in case someone wants to ask that question. Okay, Obi. Faith.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes,
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
My name is Faith. Okay, so my question, I heard you saying like there will be like a test before we can choose or something like that, like to choose where like our specialization or our track. So I don't know if you can like talk more about that. I think I'm missing something because I'm like, you said it will be in, like everybody will have the content on the LMS. I don't know, maybe it will be weekly or the content will be dropping weekly. But then there's also something mentioned about tests to like qualify or to test us, something like that.
Okay. So what I meant was, if you tell me, it's more like proving to me that you are worthy of being intermediate, right? So let me play a scenario for you, right? It may not be the exact scenario that will play out. Of course, it will be well communicated, but let me play a scenario for you. So just picture this. You come on the learning management system, you sign up and you say you are intermediate, right? So the moment you land, there'll be a test waiting for you, a task waiting for you to do, a timed task. It could be for you to submit in the next 12 hours, because if you say you're intermediate, one of the things you should have learned is how to deliver things faster. Okay, because you're now smart enough not to probably start writing some codes afresh. You probably have it somewhere you can just, come up quickly. You're smart enough to think things quickly. So the scenario there is, you sign up, you said you are intermediate, fine. Once you just log in, you see a test waiting for you with a countdown timer, for example, right? And you have 12 hours to deliver that task. Once 12 hours elapses and you do not submit, there is a logic at the back end that will now turn your intermediate to what the beginner. So if you were Node.js intermediate to switch to beginner, your interface will change. If you were UI UX intermediate to switch to beginner, your interface will change. If you were React, it will switch, and then you go to front end, just like that. So I'm just playing a scenario. I'm not saying that's the exact way. I'm just playing a scenario to explain what I mean. You will prove that you are intermediate, right? So you don't go and so you don't sabotage yourself. That's just the whole idea. Not like we don't trust you or don't trust you enough. Okay. I hope that answers your question. Joyce, go ahead.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, my question is this. I've been hearing about beginners and intermediate. So my question is this, are there going to be different group for beginners and another group for intermediates, or everybody is going to be in the same group while the learning is going on?
Different group.
Okay, everybody's going to be in different group.
Yes.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Nathan. I think probably maybe that was the same question Nathan wanted to ask. Okay. Ngozi, go ahead. Okay, 3 hands. After these 3, I think we'll round up now. Gone past our time. Yes, Ngozi, go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Sir, sorry, my question has been answered. Thank you so much.
Okay. You're welcome. I thought you were a female. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, Collins.
Okay, good evening. Can you hear me? Hello, good evening.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry, I have two
Yes,
questions.
go ahead.
The first question is, I heard one of the speakers, though I joined a bit late. I heard one of the speakers say the first class will be Monday 6th. So I want to know, will the onboarding of the what's it called again? Learning Management System, LMS, yes, be before that Monday, or just want to know, like, what? I hope I'm not getting ahead of myself here. So, did you get the first question?
You're not getting ahead of
Hello?
yourself. What's your question?
Okay, my question is,
I did not get the first question.
My first question is, will the onboarding of the LMS be before the first class on Monday? Do you get it now?
No, it will not. It will not, but you don't have to worry about that.
Oh, okay. And my second question is, I really don't know how to navigate Discord. The whole interface is a little bit, is kind of ambiguous to me. Is there gonna be like a tutorial or something for the whole arrangement for us?
There is already. Go to our YouTube page, right? At Kodecamp team. Yes, there's actually a video there where we actually did a bit of an onboarding on Discord, right? But if you're on Discord, you can check the announcement channel or the resources channel. But if you're still not able to find it, just go to our YouTube channel, right? There's a short video there that will just put you through. Question number 3.
Sorry, that's just 2 questions that I have. Thank you very much. You answered them.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I think Nathan is back. Okay, Nathan, quickly.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, your voice is a bit low, but go ahead.
Good evening. Good evening. I got to know about this program through my friend. He has been sharing the link on his WhatsApp status for some time now, and I signed up for it, but I haven't received
Can
any
you
mail
please
since.
speak louder?
I said I haven't received any mail till now, like any mail or any notification about the class and anything. So I texted him about it, like, how far guy. I haven't seen any mail or anything about this code camp, and he sent me the link to join this meeting. So I think I just joined at the beginning of the question and answer session. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, have you been able to join the Discord?
No, I haven't. I just downloaded the application on my phone.
Okay, well, let me just okay, just stay on the call. I have people, so I have a slide that will address people that have this your challenge. Okay, try to stay on the call at the we're rounding up in the next 5 minutes. Okay, I think I'm done with Collins. I don't know why his hand is still raised. You guys are raising. Okay, I think after these 4 persons that are here, I will just stop. I'm not accepting any other hand again. Obasesam, Obasesam. Ha, are you? I think that should be. It sounds like Cross River or Calabar. Go ahead, Gospel.
Yes, I just
Yeah, I know it's you.
My question is, we previous LMS users, are we still going to create another LMS account?
Okay, no, you're not going to, but you will receive a pop-up for the previous LMS users. You receive a pop-up that will prompt you to join the 4.0 cohort, right? So that's actually how your own onboard is going to be. Oh, of course, these things will be shown to you, but you just receive a pop-up for previous LMS users. Okay. Latifa, and then Oladile, and then we are done with the Q&A. We'll take the rest. We'll take the rest questions on the Discord channel. Latifa, are you there? Okay, I don't think Latifa is there. Oladile, are you there? Okay, so I don't think they're available. You're saying yes on the chat. I'm prompting you to unmute, Latifa. I am prompting you to unmute. Check your phone or your.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, my question is about the DevOps class. I've not seen any track relating to the DevOps. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You said you have not seen any what?
I've not seen any track regarding the DevOps class. So is it still on, or you're meant to choose
Yeah,
something else?
it is. So like I said, you guys will see every of your tracks, the particular track channels. You see that, please, who is drawing on my this is Zoom. Okay, you see all the track channels from tomorrow down to Monday. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay. I hope you actually heard me though. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, okay, so thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, we have a lot of people asking questions. Of course, it's expected, right? It's expected. So we're going to have office hours from next week. The office hour session is where we get to actually take time to just solve problems, share screen, fix issues, and the likes, right? So yeah, let's go. So now straight to our closing remarks. Like I said, I have an information for those who are not able to join the Discord, or if you know somebody that is not able to join the Discord, just kind of hold on, right? After the closing remark, I'll let you know what to tell them. Okay. So for our closing remarks, right, I'm going to be calling first. I'm going to be calling first Engineer Lawrence Akubwe, and then after that we'll have Engineer Beth Udo, and then we round up. Engineer Lawrence, if you can hear me, over to you.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, it's just to say congratulations to people that have joined. It's not going to be easy. Take destiny by your hand. Half a word is enough for the wise. Nigeria is not getting any easier. In fact, the world at large, if you like, you can ask those that have actually left the country. Something I didn't mention is that a lot of people join a class session. I think Ijia might talk about that. People that left in a hurry, went to Canada. Finally, they joined a session with us last year on DevOps because they reached Canada and discovered that there is no office. They left a very beautiful office in Nigeria. For instance, you're working in Zenith Bank and you leave Nigeria. There's no Zenith Bank in Canada that is waiting for you to come and resume. All of a sudden, they realized that they needed skills to actually get the kind of job that they want, or they end up doing manual jobs. At least manual jobs still pay, but someone that's already used to staying in an office and everything might not really want to work in a restaurant or this kind of thing. So they ended up, joining our DevOps program last year, even though they're already in Canada. The reason why they joined is that to take lessons in Canada is equally as expensive as. So what am I trying to say? That this skill something it goes beyond Nigeria, right? That's the point. So forget about the story I'm telling, but getting a skill is very important, whether you are staying here or whether you want to Java. You want to Java and you want to become a machine learning expert, developer, you want to become DevOps, you want to become, UI, UX, you need to add value, Scrum Masters and stuff like that, so that you can be relevant. So I think half a word is enough for the wise, right? I'm not sure if you are hoping on the federal government to create job for you. I don't know. I'm not sure if you're waiting for the state government to create jobs for you. Yeah, it used to be oil and gas, but I don't know how much of it is out there left. Then banking sector came in. I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, people are losing their jobs in the bank as well. So which sector are we even looking at? So really, I know that there are some students on the cover. Let me tell you the truth there. You might be making the best decision by taking this thing seriously while you struggle through your school as well, because trust me, the picture I showed at the beginning, a lot of people have gone to this school, gotten very good results, come out, have gone to NYSC, they still didn't have a job. And the last thing I want to mention is that a lot of private firms are, springing up here and there, and their employment currently is based on what you can do and not really your certificate. Trust me, there's none of you on this call that will have a business and will pay attention to the certificate of the people that are coming for the interview to work with you. I think you are going to be more focused on what the person can do. So the game is changing. That's the thing. So probably ask yourself a question: how long do you still have to live on earth? And compare it with the 4 months that you are going to be. I see a lot of grilling, drilling, or whatever. Better just sacrifice the 4 months that is coming so that the rest of your life at least will take shape. You have heard from those that, it has impacted, it's people like you. But again, a lot of people will be dropped out. I'll repeat it because we have 10,000 sign-ons for from 1 to 3. We have only about 600 people that have finished. So won't dash you the certificate, trust me. So your destiny now is in your hand. Thank you very much, and let the journey begin. And we are going to be watching, and it is going to be challenging and rewarding at the same time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Lawrence. So for the final remark, I'll hand over to Janibet. Janibet, over to you.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. At a point in this call, we had 250 people. Right now, we have 128, so the number has dropped by almost 50%. I hope that 50% of you who have joined Codecamp at least will get to the finals. It's never easy. What is this great thing? And they're just doing it right. So if you haven't done the grit task, go and do the grit task. Okay, because you will need it. In fact, you need grit reservoir 10 because it's not going to be easy, but you have to push. So don't be anxious, don't be worried. Everything that Codecamp does to you is to prepare you for a better future. And a lot of people have already attested to it. Those were just 3 or 4 people who told you how Codecamp changed their lives. We have 600 people who can tell you that story right now or more. In fact, we have more people. 600 plus are just the people who were finalists. There are many others who were not finalists, but Codecamp has changed their life. And I believe Codecamp will change your life, but you have to put in the work. So get ready. All your questions will be answered. We'll be having office hours. So there will be a time when you join a Zoom call just like now to ask more questions, to clarify things, and just to help yourself and keep going along. Yeah, on the Discord channel as well, you'll be able to ask questions. Please choose the right channel, by the way. Don't ask questions anywhere. Right? There are channels for everything. A lot of you are not used to how Discord works. You just go into different channels and just spam all over the place. There are rules on Discord. By the way, for those who are asking, there's a rules channel on Discord. Go there and you will see the rules. Follow the rules. ask questions. You can ask questions in the general channel. At least that is a general channel. So ask questions. A lot more information will pass across to you. Over time, you will get to know a lot of things, and hopefully you will be able to, fit into the thing and begin to make progress. So I wish all of you the best. Put in your best, you will make it. Put in your best, you will make it. I'm not saying this as a prophet, but I can actually prophesy that anybody who puts in their best into Codecamp 4.0 will definitely make it. And there is no gainsaying that. So I think I'll leave it at that point. And thank you for joining. And I wish you all success. In 4 months' time, when we do the closing ceremony, I hope that you will be one of the finalists, and maybe you might even get an internship placement. And people like Ryan and Sam may even come to look for you if you are, one of those, very, excellent ones at the end of the day. So thank you. IK, back to you. Thank you. God bless.
Okay, thank you very much. So for those of you who are having, you're having issues joining the... Yes.
Okay, that was silent. I was wondering. Please, can I chip in?
Okay.
Please, people should go to our channels and follow us and like our channel. Every Facebook, we are there. Just type Bootcamp. We are all over the place. Facebook,
Yes.
LinkedIn, YouTube. Please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I have 100. I would have said this when there were 200 and something people. But 100, if I can get 100 of you to just speak, it's very easy. Maybe I should let me drop the link on the chat while the Mole is coming up. Thank you.
Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on. So for those of you, like I said, who are having issues joining the Discord, or someone who who is having issues joining Discord, the person has registered, right? But for one reason or the other, we've had persons send a mail, right? But one of the things people are kind of failing to do is give us clear a clear explanation of the issues they are having, right? And kind of the whole mail thing is kind of just a lot of back and forth. So so if you need assistance with joining the Discord, or you're having issues registering, right? You can just send a WhatsApp message to this number on the screen. Okay. Yeah, I can send a WhatsApp message to this number on the screen, right? Or if you feel mail is best, you can actually just send us a mail. But this is strictly for those who are having issues with joining the Discord. This will help us to have a more a better conversation, and to just the essence is to just help you get get on the platform as quickly as possible. So if you know anyone who is having issues joining the Discord, please, it is not for questions. If you're already on the Discord channel, I will not respond to you. Okay, I will not respond to you. It's just for those who, for some reason or the other, are finding it difficult to join the Discord. They have registered, but due to one or two things, they can't join. Then you can reach out to the number on the screen. I've also dropped it on the Zoom chat for you to pick up. Okay, so I think someone actually had that issue. So just send a WhatsApp message to that number, and of course you get a quick feedback. By the way, registration for Codecamp is good. Someone actually sent me a message like, please, can you just hold on? Somebody wants to register. So what I'm going to do is that the registration will be extended. It's supposed to shut down today, but I think I'll leave it to the end of tomorrow. So if there's someone you want to bring in, you want the person to upskill themselves, some of the things you've seen and heard, there's someone you want to be a part of this, right? You can send the registration. Please do not send the Discord link to them. send them the registration link. Once they submit the registration link, the Discord link is available. You're not doing them any good if you just send them the Discord link to join. You're not doing them any good. It means we don't have their information. And as far as we are concerned, they are not eligible members of the community because we don't have that data. Okay, so do them good by sending them the registration form, guiding them as to which, whatever level they want to register and everything, so that they are properly guided. And that will help us reduce a lot of back and forth. So yeah, before we shut down officially, I think Imole is back. Imole, give us a closing remark before we shut down.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, so thank you so much. I'm saying thank you to everyone that joined. Thank you to our partners that joined. Thank you to our special guests, the trainers, the mentors, our team generally. I want to say thank you so much. This is we are saying thank you because you all have made this orientation and opening ceremony a huge success. And I'm looking forward to, seeing you in the closing ceremony, Codecampers, as finalists that are now certified, ready to, face the world with what you've been equipped with. So give it your best, give it everything you've got, and you will not regret it. I did not regret it, so you won't regret it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful night rest. See you on Discord. Bye, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Imole. So, to everyone, this is going to be the next 4 months is going to be a very tough one. It's going to be a fulfilling one. It's going to be one that will define, a major aspect of your life should you, take it seriously, right? So we wish you guys all the best. Conversations continues on Discord. If you're having challenges, you can use the tech support channel, right? I think we'll just use that for, for any questions or challenges you may have, right? But we'll probably guide you guys. So just pay attention to the announcement channel on the Codecamp 4.0 category. Okay, pay attention to that. Moving on, conversations that has to do with the bootcamp will just be on the bootcamp specific channels. Okay, so we will no longer take bootcamp information. That will not be done on the community platform anymore. So we'll make sure that every channel is. So just follow the directives, okay, and definitions of every channel. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much for your time. It's amazing to see you all, stay to the end for the 120 persons that are currently on call. Do have a wonderful night if it's night on your end, or have a wonderful evening, a wonderful afternoon, a wonderful morning, a wonderful weekend, or a wonderful weekday. Okay, I'll see you all on the workspace. Have a wonderful time. Thank you.